13 card subject change. I'm over here, Jesse's over there, and Leroy is in the same spot as always. Welcome, everyone, and we have a big week of wrestling to recap. We also,
if I was in a different spot, I
arguably,
might get lost.
I don't know, Jesse's been in that spot numerous times, and you've not done anything, and yet the show went on just fine. It's almost like you're not necessary.
Oh, my God.
It's almost like you could be the appendix of the show.
Boys. Come on.
I'm like the big toe you need.
Come on, guys. Like, listen.
Hold on, pause. Hold on. Okay, you have a chance to glaze yourself up, and you choose the big toe.
That's important.
It's
almost as important as this thing.
That's a middle finger, but
That's my favorite finger.
The big toe. You could have made yourself the brain, the heart, the soul. You chose the big toe.
There's too much rage, and I don't even have Forbidden Door on right now.
I don't have any. I don't have any rage for. I have all the love in the world for Zach.
Well, yeah. I think he's mad because he's been around these cats today. Yeah.
Some pussies
Yeah.
you don't want to be around. Yes, I understand.
Well, he doesn't like cats. You know.
Cats and I just don't get along. I don't think
they love you. That's why.
they do love me. Cats
you don't
love
like
me. It's
them.
very strange.
I have yet
'Cause
to
you don't
use
like
the word
them.
bullshit before 5 minutes, but bullshit. There is no such thing as me and cats don't get along. You don't like cats. It's cool.
All right.
To be fair, actually, a friend of mine does have 2 cats that are awesome, but they are literally dogs.
So, Zach, go ahead with the first story.
Yeah, all right. So here we go. Moving forward, we would like to, first and foremost, if you don't know, because it is wrestling related, but I'm not going to go too deep into it. There's a 37-minute video on their YouTube. Travis Heckel will no longer be doing the art for the Jim Cornette podcast. That is a sad situation in a different way than people think. But for anyone that hasn't heard it yet, I'm going to also back up the rumors. Travis was not fired. Travis quit.
Correct.
For reasons that I can't understand.
Somebody new to do artwork. So.
Well, no. So one of the former guest artists is going to do some of the clips they already had in the tank, and then they've already put out feelers for the opportunity to like be a part of the show. All I gotta say is, dude, you had the dream of an artist making 6 figures just doing your art, and you threw it away for reasons I still don't understand. But you know what? A blonde Cheeto can mess anybody up. Anyway,
you know what? I got something to add on a happier moment. I would like to say a happy belated birthday to a good friend of the podcast, local wrestler we know as Arlen. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Arlen, because it's a lot better than happy birthday, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
He became in his 30s.
Yep.
Is his birthday too?
Vince is 80 now.
Yep.
And he's still kicking.
Also,
Satan, what are you doing down
right?
there?
He doesn't want him.
Also,
there's a reason for that.
Also, quick update. Rampage's son is currently not facing any charges for what happened.
We'll see.
But that situation is ongoing. However, supposedly the wrestler whose name escapes me at this moment is in stable.
Sicko Kid.
Sicko Kid. He is in stable condition.
Yep, he's in stable. He's
as we know.
Was that a planned
spot? So
I saw?
It was planned, but now I'm going to get into what I was going to say. This is a warning to anyone out there who deals with shows. You need to, be very, very careful who you do angles with. And number 2, when you do an angle with someone who is not smart to the business, you need to be very clear in your instructions. Because 9 times out of 10, the only instructions you need to give someone is don't take any liberties. Do exactly as we discussed it, and everything will go as it is. Because I guarantee you what happened, and Jesse, I'm not going to say it's a racial thing, but you can speak to this. Young black men don't like to get punked, and that could have played a factor into you're with your friends and this guy punked you.
This has more of a spoiled kid deal to it, but I saw Rampage's apology.
I'm just saying, Jesse. Personal ego plays a factor.
Maybe, but still, it doesn't matter.
No, yeah,
because his father has done the professional wrestling thing before.
Right, exactly.
So, I did see. I saw what Rampage actually had to say about it.
Yeah.
He tried to use a thing. You know, he was sparring earlier in the day. Maybe a little small concussion got him all screwed up in the game, and he should have never did it in the first place. That really doesn't matter, Rampage. And I get you're just protecting your son. This is just. I get what the kid was hoping for. By the way, this was at Rikishi's
Show.
wrestling company show.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how this got through without everybody knowing that's the real question right now, because it's like Rikishi's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Should know how to run a professional show with no problem. I mean, his family is steeped in the business.
Right.
But the great news is that Sicko Kid is okay, or I should say, is in stable condition.
Yep.
Will they press charges? I have a feeling Rikishi will work this out with Rampage somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel good seeing that video.
No.
And yeah, because listen, it's one thing when people are like, a UFC fighter shouldn't be getting in there. Well, that was what made, and I know people don't like to bring up his name, but that's what made Brock Lesnar's return so cool, was that it felt more real when he came back from
Jesse,
the OC.
it's interesting that we bring that up, because this is a situation that I feel the need to bring up, because we've been really diving deep the last couple of weeks. It's been one of the few series type things we've done on our show.
Sure.
But so this brings up a topic for me of like, so WWE had the Logan Paul, John Cena backstage thing, and clearly there was the whole Logan missed by a mile situation. But Jesse, I think what people are not understanding,
that show's kind of funny that they had to retape it.
Right. But like, Jesse, my whole thing that I don't think people understand, Jesse, if we bring up AEW and the Sickos and the fact that we've kind of dug down deep into the earth and we've discovered that they just like the physicality of it, the impacts, the moves. Jesse.
And they wouldn't have redone it.
Jesse, the whole point of this business is to make it look like you're hitting someone and not actually doing it. So what I'm getting at is while it didn't look great, ladies and gentlemen, this is why wrestling books, whether you like someone or not, need to be read, need to be understood, and you need to understand that, yes, there's a lot of guys telling their versions, and they're probably lies if they're from certain people, but there's people then like Jim Cornette, who, Jesse, he has no reason to not tell the truth about wrestling, because he doesn't gain anything by twisting it in a certain way. Jim was always a talent, and even when he was booking, he got to a point where it's like, well, Jesse, it was like when so he was very critical of Stokely Hathaway's thing, saying it was bad, but he said it was bad for the same reasons we did, in that it had no heat because it was never built well.
Oh, the match.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but my point is that when you look at the history of the business, boxing went the route of the shoot, and they're in trouble. That's why they're desperate for a Jake Paul in any way, in any capacity. But when you look at wrestling, I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, okay, guys, you're mad that Logan didn't really hit John. Meanwhile, if we look at it from the perspective of logic, ladies and gentlemen, you have John Cena with only 10 dates left, and we don't want him to not be available for those 10 dates because we did something, quote, stupid. The point of wrestling.
You need about that much.
Leroy, get up and help him.
No, I got it.
Okay. The point of wrestling, Jesse, whether the sickos who are supposedly the real wrestling fans want to believe, is that, Jesse, the point was to go out there, execute a match, and neither guy gets a career-ending injury. That's the point of wrestling.
Right.
Yes.
So,
and if an injury happens, it happens.
well, that's the thing. Injuries used to be.
You never know.
Well, no, that's the thing. Injuries, Leroy's not wrong. It used to be an accident.
Right.
But nowadays, because we're trying to do so many things, look, I get that Vince hokeyed wrestling. I'm not going to pretend like he didn't. I'm not defending Vince McMahon having the repo man, the trash man, and a dentist out there. Was it dumb? Absolutely. But at the same time, Jesse, where are the territories that Tony Khan says he grew up a fan of?
Gone.
Okay.
They're gone.
Mid-South.
So now let's go to this, because I saw this posted, and Jesse's going to go off on this person when he hears what I'm saying. So, Jesse, apparently in 2025, and we're not even done with August, Hiroshi Tanahashi has already wrestled 95 matches, which, according to this post, is more than Roman Reigns combined in the last 3 to 4 years. Jesse, two things. Number one, credit to the ace. That's how he built his reputation.
That's how he wants to kind of go out.
And number two,
that's fine.
Jesse, one of them is actively still battling cancer.
Well,
You know?
besides that, it's just
But it's also not Roman's thing.
it's
The ace will die on his sword or
it
his
is-
knees.
It is not necessary for Roman to wrestle that goddamn much.
Well, quantity does not always.
No,
bring out quality.
No.
It's not
Stop.
necessary.
The reason I don't even want to talk about that, no offense to you, is because it does matter. And here's why. Jesse, that's how New Japan builds their legacy, though.
Sure, but once again, like
Tanahashi is doing what Tanahashi does.
that's
And that's fine. But
it's such a stupid ass comparison.
But there's still quality, Leroy,
it's-
in what Tanahashi's
well,
doing.
correct.
Yeah.
But it's
Because
such-
of the different companies.
Well, right, but whoever said that does not understand anything, and it's such a stupid ass comparison.
It
Because
is.
because Tanahashi is working a slower style nowadays, anyway. So it doesn't matter that he's working more matches. As a matter of fact, his matches aren't that goddamn long. Since you wanted to put the count up there, because I bet New Japan didn't do it. People are weird, man.
But we can look at the influence that Roman has. Him not there, you mention him on a show, and people go freaking nuts. They'll scream for him no matter what. He doesn't have to be there
But my point is,
every single night.
Well, last week we did the of course the Raw reaction together, which
Yeah.
my plan is to try to do it again, guys. Work schedule.
Well,
Monday-
Monday. It's on at 2:00, so I'm gonna.
Oh, so we'll see then.
I'm gonna
I'll
figure
be
it
at
out
work.
for like
But like,
guest hosts on that day, but it could be questionable.
but otherwise, here was the thing. Like one of the things I kind of had an inkling of was Roman was going to show up at the end of the show. You didn't think so.
I didn't think so either.
And
Yeah.
I was like, don't be so quick, because the Paul Levesque thing hasn't completely cleared and Netflix hasn't gone dun-dun, right? And so when he shows up, guess what? I bet you they got a big-ass boost to their numbers when Roman shows up. It's
But he has a match
so
next
and
Sunday
he'll have a match against
with
and
Big Bronson
by the
Reed.
way, helping to push a young guy. Well, not young, but trying to make
future
a
star.
guy into a star in Bronson Reed. It's just,
wow,
just-
they're actually doing it right. The lights out match is your main event.
well, yeah, it probably should be.
Well,
so,
he pulled his head out of his ass for once.
but I forget who was the last time I watched. Oh yeah. But yeah, it doesn't make sense to compare the two.
Right.
Like it just. John Cena was never going to work fucking 90 something matches this year. Before he retired, it just it was never gonna
Arguably,
happen.
the only match that John has had that is up to John's former level of standard was Cody.
Was the second
Yeah.
Cody match.
That's
yeah.
arguably the only match that has lived up to that hype. And Jesse, that's actually going to lead me into a different topic, because obviously now that we'll talk more about it next.
Is there anybody in WWE in the main roster that would do 95 matches
Absolutely,
right now till this date?
absolutely. Leroy.
Well, to be fair to Leroy, they don't do enough shows for them to do 95 matches in a year anymore.
No, and I understand that. But what I'm saying is that
No,
somebody
he's had 95 matches, and we're in August. I don't think there's anybody on.
he's saying 95 matches in a year.
Raw,
Which
from in 8 months. If he's had 95 matches in 8 months, that's a
Well,
lot.
but the other thing about it is, like Jesse said,
but they're always constantly on tour. So they take a week or two off, but New Japan is constantly on tour.
Yeah, I know, because
and as Jesse's pointed
cut
out,
down the house
clearly this is
for
how
WWE.
Tanahashi wants to go out.
Sure. And by the way, WWE has a much, much lighter schedule now.
Which, by the way, is also being confirmed by the current talent.
Yeah, it's a much lighter
and
schedule
let's
now.
see, does that make everybody happy? Yes.
Anyway, now, Jesse,
And you like to work more if you're happy.
To sort of transition into something else involving the WWE, so we talked about John and like his standard of level. I think it's clear, regardless of what Unreal wants to say, regardless of what anyone will say in the press, Jesse, Dwayne fucked everything up, and they're just trying to walk it back. They're trying to get out of it as best they can.
The way that was presented on Unreal was so questionable.
Almost like Triple H was the one pushing for it the whole time.
Right. Which I felt was odd.
I didn't see that, but I saw that he was kind of trying to backpedal and figure it out to get past that.
I think Hunter is
Let's go
being
on,
asked to play a role in something that is supposed to be unscripted. And I think that Hunter is, as he was for most of his career, Jesse, he's trying to be the best business soldier that he can be.
Sure.
And I think that, but Jesse, you and I are all about evidence, facts. Look what's on the table. Look at what's in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse and I and Leroy will all look at you and tell you this. We watched NXT Black and Gold for so long.
Yep.
We watched Triple H take over main roster before everyone got involved. Jesse, I'm going to ask you this directly. That's why I'm saying your name.
I'm listening.
There's no goddamn way with the years of evidence that we have that this is what Triple H wanted. Was for John to turn heel, have it be so lackluster, and then just John walk out one day and randomly be like, "I'm back, guys. Thank you for bringing me back." Like this is so contradictory to the very essence of his booking style, which was always consistent, which was always canon. I feel like Hunter is being asked to fall on the sword of, there's no goddamn way in hell that Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H, Paul Levesque booked John Cena's last year like this.
I'll also say this, too. There seems to be a lot of, including after hearing Killer Cross's interview.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, he showed GCW last night, so clearly he's gone.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people are saying no because WWE's worked with them. But
They have, but I think for now he's gone.
for a time period, I
yeah,
think he will be gone, which is fine.
That door's not shut. We
I
know
don't
that.
think the door's
hell
completely
no.
shut.
No.
But the way Killer had talked about the exit, there's a lot of corporate interference again, and it's an unnecessary amount because you acquired a company for a certain amount. It was worth a certain amount before you acquired it. It was actually going to be worth more as long as you allowed.
This is why
him
I
to do
told
what he
you
was going to
guys
do.
that Disney wouldn't have been the worst person to buy it.
Because Disney would have just let Triple H do what he was doing.
Well, as I said, they kind of had their fingers in them anyways.
Well, I'm about to say, the mouse always gets his hand
Well,
on your butt cheeks.
It's tickling
At
the
some
balls right
point.
now.
But what I'm saying is this. The difference, and this is why Disney doesn't panic unless they put a banker in charge. Disney never panics because Disney is the best silent partner in the world, because Disney goes, we're not going to acquire something and then throw money at it and hope it gets successful. They tend to buy things after they've already hit their success. And then Disney goes, hey, you guys made $500 million last year. Hey, we don't need to make $500 billion. We just need you guys to kind of do what you did last year. Take our little cut. Everything will be happy. So they just let people do their job. And this is my small diatribe to all those people out there, because there's even some people that listen to the show. And a lot of people laughed at me, both in person and online, when I mentioned it. Guys, what is the ultimate, here is money, go do your thing company in the world? It's Disney Incorporated.
No, it is Disney Incorporated.
So,
Oh, yeah.
again, Jesse, everyone can say Disney ruined Star Wars. Okay, Did Disney ruin Star Wars because they Disneyfied it, or did they just have a lot of weird production stuff go on behind the scenes?
I think that.
Let's be very, very clear. Let me make sure that's cleaned off. Disney did not ruin Star Wars.
Exactly.
Star Wars, the current head, fucked up too much. And by the way, she's a great producer. I can't wait to see her go back to producing full time because Kathleen Kennedy is an absolute legend in the movie game about it. She was not a good studio head. She was terrible. And it's not because she's a woman. She just could not do that job.
No.
She was bad at it.
Some people.
So Disney did not ruin Lucasfilm.
No.
Lucasfilm ruined Lucasfilm.
Right.
In this
So
case.
so Jesse, what I'm trying to explain to everyone is what people don't get is you're gonna get corporate interference when you have a bunch of, and I'm even mad that Dwayne doesn't do the one thing I think he's still good for and go to these people and say, let wrestling be wrestling. But of course, he's there because he can't make $40 million a movie anymore.
Yeah, I guess
So he's going to do whatever they say because they gave him a cut. So I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, yeah, there's going to be corporate interference, but like Jesse just reported, Leroy, it's unnecessary. It's to a level that isn't needed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need these people to get involved because WWE, even in the Triple H era, has never been unsponsor friendly. It hasn't been unfamily friendly. It's maybe towed that line a little bit, but it's never
Not
pushed.
too bad.
But it's never pushed away advertisers.
Oh, hell no.
It's never made people angry.
No.
I guess I just don't understand why there is this constant hate for a guy who isn't doing what he wants to do.
Yeah.
I look at John Cena's retirement tour and they're like, well, they're wasting it. They've done this, done that. I don't think this is what Triple H wanted to do.
No, everything they done, the heel turn in the middle was not planned what they wanted to, and that didn't help because The Rock, he needs to come out and say, hey, I fucked this up. But we all know he did.
But the problem
it didn't help.
Yeah, but the problem is because he's now at celebrity status, not at wrestler status, it hurts his image to be a part of a failure.
Yeah.
We know, it's interesting. I was out to dinner with the in-laws the other night, and
Oh, yeah. That's always a fun time.
yeah, we were listening to the music in the restaurant, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And what comes on but Billy Squier.
Oh, yeah.
Not The Stroke, but the song that famously ruined his career. And I'm sitting there talking to my uncle-in-law, and he goes, well, it wasn't the song, it was the video. And and famously, I think it was like Rock Me Tonight or whatever it was. Jesse, you know the song probably. No.
No, that's Stroke.
What was the song that had the music video that like really ruined Billy's credibility in the rock world?
Oh, it was off the what is the name?
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
There was too many. Let's say.
Well, but he started dancing around his apartment, but like "Rock Me Tonight" was the song or whatever.
Rock me something, and there was too much.
Rock Me that's a different one. That's something else.
There was a lot of male genitalia. Let's just say.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Jesse.
Yeah, not a big thing on that.
But no, so like Leroy, but it's like nobody necessarily blames Billy. They blame the director and the people who choreographed it. But like it still had a devastating impact on his career. And even he's come out and said, I don't know, because he was on a roll until that video.
Oh, yeah.
He had hits. He was on he was doing really well. And then that video came out and everyone just all of a sudden went,
what the hell?
Wait, what? And it had a devastating impact on his career. I don't think this ruins John's career because John's career is already set. But it would hurt Dwayne as a celebrity to come out and say, I was a part of this project that tanked this gigantic story. Because it has
Oh yeah.
put a black mark on John's retirement tour.
That and left a bad taste in a lot of our mouth from it.
Well,
And-
yeah,
But some of us that are loyal with this is, you know what?
do you think it
that was
could've-
a bad thing?
I'll
I'm
ask
going to
you-
still watch it.
I'll ask you while Jesse finishes cooking. Do you think it would have been fixed if Dwayne had at least showed up?
I think it would have helped. It wouldn't have been as bad. The way it keep Travis Scott out of it, but
Okay.
having Dwayne come in there and kind of either finalize it or
Well, my biggest problem ultimately was
if
well,
Cena
my-
was going to go back to the old Cena, have something to do.
Well, my
with the
biggest
reason
problem.
why he went back.
Well, again, my biggest problem is just you couldn't get people to give you a day off for Wrestle fucking Mania.
and he could.
WrestleMania, the biggest night of the year in entertainment, and you just decided your thing was more important. And yes, I understand that there are hundreds of thousands of dollars being wasted on the other thing, but you put yourself. But that's the thing. He put himself in this. Triple H did not call Dwayne and say, "Hey,
No.
we need you to make John Cena's retirement tour, XYZ." It's crazy to me, but regardless of how impactful that storyline was, The Rock is such a footnote in John Cena's career.
It is.
He could have
is.
gone the whole retirement tour with no references to Dwayne and probably have been okay.
Yeah, and some people
Probably have been okay.
and some people say that same thing about Brock, that Brock doesn't need to be involved in Cena.
But if John asked for it, that's a different story.
Yeah.
I don't think John went to Triple H and said, "We need to involve The Rock."
and that
Brock-
totally was the Rock.
Brock
coming
makes
to
sense
him.
because Brock plays such a pivotal role in John's career, both on screen and off screen, because everyone has always said Brock doesn't leave for the NFL, John probably doesn't get, to where he is,
No,
because it doesn't make
and get
sense.
suplexed about 15 times in one match.
Well, no, I mean, it's the biggest thing you have to explain to people who don't
Oh, yeah.
understand wrestling, but know who John Cena is, know who Dwayne is, know who Brock is. Brock's career in wrestling, although dominant, although great all time, it could have been so much more if he'd stuck around.
Yes,
But because he didn't, and we're where we're at, John Cena got to be where he was. So I think that having Brock on the tour makes sense. But Dwayne was, John's celebrating, 20 years in the business?
yeah,
Dwayne was,
something like that.
yeah, Dwayne was like, a year and a half? Maybe 2 years total?
I
would-
think so.
I mean, yeah, they booked themselves for WrestleMania the night after the WrestleMania for the next WrestleMania, but they barely discussed anything with each other, but maybe a half dozen times until it was like the road to WrestleMania season.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so. That's
Yeah,
about
so
right, yeah.
so Dwayne is to blame for all of this, and Triple H is sadly at that point in his life where it's like, man, he takes a lot of stray bullets for a lot of people who just
yes.
don't seem to want to take the bullets for themselves.
Yeah. And it's like with John, I mean, everybody looks at it as like, because most of the time when you have a match or series, you guys really have a series of matches with people, but with John's greatest hits tour, basically,
Yeah.
he really just has to have a one match.
Yeah.
I mean, one match with CM Punk to finish it all after all the years of them wrestling,
Sure.
many times.
Yeah.
Same with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I mean, boom. He has one with Brock. Brock's gone. He's back up in Canada killing bears and boars and whatever the hell he wants.
Not a lot of boars in Canada, but okay, thanks for that.
Wild pigs.
Not a lot of wild pigs in Canada, but okay.
Polar bears. There's polar bears up there.
They're on the ice caps. Keep going.
He could be up there. Well, grizzly bears, whatever kind of bear.
You
bear.
finally got to an animal that's native to Saskatchewan. It took you 5 tries, but you got to an
I
animal
said a bear.
native to
I said a bear.
Saskatchewan.
You never know. He could have boars shoved up there so he can kill them with his bare hands.
he raises pigs. Anyway,
Well, you could kill him with his
so
bare hands.
I guess for me, the overwhelming idea of this whole thing is Triple H is clearly not in charge of WWE, but he's the one who gets a lot of the flack. Because I would say WWE.
What do you mean by not in charge, Debbie? You mean the day-to-day comings and the hirings and firings?
Oh,
Is
that's
that
Nick
what
Khan. That's
Okay.
Nick Khan. We've learned Nick Khan is the guy who's calling people and saying,
we're going to keep you, we're not going to keep you, and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
no, I mean, because I feel like, and Jesse's talked about this 1,000 times. I don't see Karrion Kross being gone from WWE if Triple H gets final say.
Yeah.
Because he seemed like a Triple H kind of guy in the sense of we're building, we're always thinking about the business, we're always thinking promo-wise, we're always connecting. And I don't think that Karrion was let go by Triple H.
No.
I think Karrion was let go by TKO.
Dinner and a podcast. How are you doing, Jesse? Yes, I think so. If they could have done something different, or if it could have done, I don't know. If they could have had a faster build up with him, maybe TKO would have wanted to keep Karrion.
Well, first and foremost, I'm actually starting to believe that Karrion being gone from WWE is the best thing for Killer Kross because I feel like he didn't fit the version of what WWE was, and I think he was a little watered down. I also think that there's an argument to be made that I don't think he fit what they were trying to do in ring stylistically.
At this moment,
well,
yeah. I think bringing
I
back,
still think Kross has been on a downturn ever since the Adam Cole situation.
That long, you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't a good.
I think the momentum died that night.
But I think, as everybody knows, and
he got it back though.
I think
he did. He did.
But I think everybody knows, dealing with even back in the day with Vince, everybody knew if he got let go, that door was never shut.
Well, no,
because
everybody no, hold on. You're thinking too far ahead right now. You're thinking far too far ahead for what I'm trying to say.
Oh no, I don't think I am. But,
no,
but I understand.
No. What I'm saying is that to get back to my point, and Jesse's now back and he's got his food, so he's back on the show with us.
Dinner and a podcast.
Yep.
It's awesome.
We are in a situation where TKO clearly is in charge, and Triple H is having to eat the strays for it. I think on Unreal, everyone's coming away from Unreal saying Triple H was pushing, the whole Dwayne final boss thing. And I'm like, Jesse, now that you're back, all the years of booking from Hunter, what pointed to that?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
And I agree. I don't see that at all myself.
That's why I never believed it, because I'm like, this dude's always been about long-term booking. Booked himself out of Vince's years of mess. And then all of a sudden, he's going to start messing up long-term booking. It makes no sense.
And Jesse, I might have said something that seems controversial, but it's because people can't get past the name recognition. Dwayne is a footnote in John's 20-year career.
He is an important character, The Rock, but not as important as
Brock,
Edge,
Randy
Orton,
CM Punk.
Probably Bray
Leroy.
Wyatt. Probably Bray Wyatt.
Silence. Or
I thought I had it silenced.
silence, or we kill your mic.
Or the Wyatts, or the stuff like that. So
yeah.
It's a damn shame that
Dwayne stuck his nose in this whole thing.
It's a damn shame there's just no one at TKO had the foresight to go, dude, no. Because you can't even promise you'll be here.
Well, and see, that's why I think maybe they'll learn for next time. The problem is we can't fix the retirement tour. I think that sadly TKO, instead of being proactive, is being reactive.
The retirement tour is still okay.
It's had a bit of a lull since that happened.
Having the second Cody match helped.
Yeah.
A lot. Clearly doing the Brock thing in Perth will help.
Dropping Travis Scott entirely and having nothing to do with it
Was good business.
Yep.
So
Yes, I agree with that.
You know, how it ends on Saturday night's main event in December, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see. Is it what it should have been? Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. But
then again,
yeah.
Jesse, who are we to say what it should have been? You know, it's interesting. I recently read an interview with Tom Morello, and Tom talked about how Rage really ended this past time. Zachy getting hurt and all that kind of stuff. He said, was it the energy and what we wanted? No. But how can you walk away from the game after 4 straight nights of sold out shows at Madison Square Garden and say that that's not a hell of a way to go out?
Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean, like, now they're older. Now they may have other stuff going on, and they're going to go back and do it again and maybe have it be less than 4 sold-out shows in a row in Madison Square Garden.
Right.
So, I mean, who are we to say what John Cena's retirement should have been or shouldn't have been? But I do think what I'm learning from Unreal is I don't think Triple H is being real, and I think he's being asked to be, toe the company line right now.
There we go.
I
Yeah.
think he's just,
You
as
know?
you said earlier, he's at fault for things.
But
No doubt.
not everything.
We
But
have.
he's taking a lot of bullets for people
Hey guys.
who
We have,
deserve to get
I have a
caught.
we have a comment up here. I don't know if you want to read from the
Go
Undead
for it.
Jester. Thank you for watching us.
Hey, Brett, how's it going?
He that's what he is.
That's Brett.
Oh, okay. He has a comment about what we were talking about TKO. He said he's a scapegoat for TKO, throwing darts at a board, seeing what sticks and doesn't. If it doesn't, blame Hunter.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, it's a good
Well,
comment.
that's exactly
though.
what-
Yeah,
that-
thank you.
Pretty dead on.
That's
man.
exactly
Thank
what
you
I'm
for
saying.
that.
But here's the other thing. 2 things can be true. I also believe Nick Khan when he says, when everything goes wrong, I put it upon myself. What I'm saying, Jesse, is Triple H is catching strays from the wrestling side of things, not the business side of things. The wrestling community.
So there's some idiots who are giving him flack for like the release of Dakota Kai, and like, well, Nikita Lyons and what's his face is still on the roster. Okay, well that has nothing to do with Triple H.
Guys, once again, back to Bryan Danielson. Wrestling fans are fickle, but the other problem with wrestling fans is everyone doesn't really adapt and pivot. And here's what I mean by that. Jesse, we know some people who are die-hard AEW supporters who look at WWE and they say to themselves, well, this, that, that was Vince. That was a different era. Jesse, what bothers me about wrestling fans is you think you've got a smart line in the back of your brain that you're going to post that little comment, and the comment's 15 years out of date. Triple H is people are like, well, WWE wants to own every wrestling company and be the only wrestling company in town.
That's not true.
And I'm like,
No.
yeah, Vince wanted that.
That's not true.
Vince wanted that.
Do I like the silly game they keep playing with AEW? No, but owning all the companies, not true.
They want to put on great content. They want to.
They seem to regret the fact that they bought fucking the bull riding company at this point. So like, when's the last time you remember, besides on WWE TV, them mentioning PBR? Fucking never.
Yeah, exactly.
I know about it because they show it on NBC sometimes.
Right.
Right.
That's about it.
TKO never mentions that they own
No.
the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
So owning a company, no. They're not trying to sweep up all the companies. Yes, they bought Evolve. Why? Because Triple H had a very good idea for it. For those who actually watch Evolve every week, they like it.
Hey, Jesse.
It's the development
Why did they
for
buy?
the development.
Hey, Jesse. Why did they buy AAA?
Because Triple H was going to die anyway.
And
AAA, people don't realize AAA had been up for sale for 3.5, 4 years. So this actually
that
worked.
long?
Yeah. So this actually worked out the best for AAA. One, they get to keep their company name. Their company value is now through the roof under TKO WWE's banner. All their stars are featured constantly on major television, which, by the way, they only have some contract dealings still in Mexico at the minimum.
And I think also, too, it's like with their partnership with TNA, they gave another avenue for some of the NXT stars.
They gave TNA fucking extra life.
But now some of the NXT stars are going down and wrestling in AAA also,
sure.
which is great.
Well, they send the main roster people down there. So it's
Jesse's learning that Dominic Mysterio is the biggest draw in 2 countries.
he's gonna have to.
I am pulling for Dirty Dom to be the champ down there in AAA.
That's gonna be crazy.
I will shit my pants with that.
TNA is actually the perfect example of them not wanting to own a company. TNA is still trying to. That dude is still trying to sell that company, right? Now it is at a higher value. All TKO/WWE has said to him, whoever you sell it to, make sure they are friendly to doing business.
Yeah,
so we can continue this.
And people are saying, "Oh, they should buy it." No,
But
I don't think buying TNA would be a good thing.
Well, here's the thing. Now, again, I don't want to harp on this because my overall point is back to my original point. You guys have these comments, and they're Vince McMahon era comments that make sense when you talk about Vince McMahon running WWE, which he hasn't for a number of years now.
A couple years, yeah.
So my point is this, is that, guys...
He's at home.
Yeah, I wish.
Vince?
Where the fuck have you been? He's
He's
not at home. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's literally everywhere these days.
Oh, his stupid-ass face.
But anyway, no, guys.
God, he's got a stupid
guys,
face now.
Guys.
Eventually he'll die.
Triple H needs to stop catching strays for something that he has no control over.
Yeah.
But everyone sits there and thinks because Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. owned the company, was the CEO and the chairman of the board and the creative control
They
and
assume that
the
that's
day-to-day.
what Triple H is.
Jesse, they think Triple H has the same role. He's the head of creative.
He is nothing
And
more than the head of creative.
He's
That's it.
doing what, I mean, it shows.
Nick Khan is the CEO. Ari Emanuel is the owner. Guys, where there used to be one, there's now 3.
Technically
It makes
4.
it a lot easier.
Well,
Because
no. It makes it easier from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it easier when the wrestling fans want to sit there. And by the way, we are going to go over not the results necessarily in depth because clearly we haven't watched it because it's just happening.
It just happened,
We're going to
yes.
go through the results of Forbidden Door because just from the results, they fucked this whole pay-per-view up. But let me get to that when we get to it.
know.
But just Jesse, Leroy,
Yes.
when we used to watch, we always knew when something happened on Raw or something happened on SmackDown. Vince's call.
Yeah, you can
Now,
tell.
now there's a ladder of people. Jesse thinks Nick made the call. I think Triple H made the call, and Leroy can sit there and say, "Well, Jesse, there's finally options to the bubbles."
There's options to blame. It's like the
Well,
NFL.
I think
It's A, B, C, and D is all of the above. Where it used to be A, B is Vince, and we were done after B. Like, guys,
Yeah.
wrestling fans think they're smart. They think they're really cute with their comments about WWE wants to own the wrestling world. WWE wants to conquer Mexico. Vince didn't want Mexico. Why would Triple H?
we just want
work with it.
we just want Mystery
And
Iguana.
by the way, we have now heard. Guess who is the biggest backing factor in them doing this deal? The fucking Undertaker. It was Mark Calloway who was just
really?
like, I'm a big fan, but boy, do they need real business people to do this shit down there.
Oh, Mystery Iguana.
And thanks to
love
Mark
that guy.
Calloway, they have acquired AAA. That's a crazy story.
Well, he's down in Texas, and they probably broadcast down there, don't they?
Well, yeah.
Well, and he's been down there a couple times when he was younger. But it's one of those things where, like, that's a crazy story. So to be fair, it wasn't even Triple H's idea for them to acquire. It was the Undertaker's.
You want to know
There we go.
You want to know what makes Triple H happy? Going to Greece with the girls and wearing a shirt as a 50-year-old man, being like, "Man, I'm glad I don't have to keep up that workout regimen anymore."
I was so pissed off at people when they're, oh my God, he looks horrible. He's getting older. He doesn't have to be in perfect shape like Vince McMahon was on crack when he was doing that shit.
He also had a heart attack.
Yeah,
He's got a machine in his heart to keep him alive.
yeah,
Literally.
So he has to be careful. He can't
Now,
do like
Jesse,
what he did.
on a somewhat interesting positive note, because my phone has been giving me tons of listings, there's this little thing that's now available. Oh, that's right. Even though everyone said we were wrong and we didn't know what we were talking about, there's a new bundle available from Disney
Yes.
that just so happens to have Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN all available for $30 a month.
I need everyone watching live to pretend this is tea. Hold on.
It is. It's wonderful tea.
We'll take the luckily, you're covering the label.
Covering the label.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yes,
You're
I know.
covering the label.
I have to add, because I dropped
Let
down.
him finish.
No,
The
it's
man's
okay.
about to have a
It's okay.
moment,
It's okay.
Leroy.
It's okay. Go ahead and add what you were going to
Ugh.
add really quick. I'm
I was-
enjoying my moment.
I was hoping that we would talk about that because, yeah, for just twice as much what I'm paying for Disney Plus alone, I'm going to get 2 more added services with stuff that I'm going to watch. Because I will watch SportsCenter and all that crap because I'm weird.
So real quick.
SportsCenter hasn't been good since Stuart Scott passed away.
So real quick.
I'll still watch it anyways.
I just want to throw out there to people again because listen, I might not have a multi-million-dollar business yet, but
We're working on it.
I've told people.
Why do you give shit away?
I have told people that
We always want to work on making ourselves more money.
me and Dave Portnier will
This
never
lovely
probably
podcast.
from Barstool Sports will probably never agree politically, but we will always agree on this.
You might agree with him politically now.
Well, now
He's lost a lot of
Yeah.
fucking money.
But one thing we agree on, Barstool Sports lost fucking money for years, but it kept teaching him how to change his business. I have lost businesses and bands and all, but the failures teach me, and also who to reach out to, what to understand about this and that. So it was fine that everyone was just like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Jesse doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, wait a minute. They fucking announced it like 2 weeks later. Why would Disney not want you to just fucking get Disney Plus to have WWE? It never made any sense. Oh, we're going to have to pay like over $1,000 a year. But no, you're not. No, you're not. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I kept telling me, like, you clearly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's still memes of maps of like you got to pay this, and this, and I'm like, yeah, if you're a nutball,
That's true.
I'm like they're gonna offer a thing for like $30, probably through Disney Plus and Disney Live or Hulu Live. It'll be $40, and you'll be able to fucking do it.
Yeah, it's another $10 for live Hulu Live.
So
you pay 10 less and get commercials.
just like Dom owes me money when he gets his raise, where's my goddamn apology, Internet? It just, and I'm happy you said this because I didn't even know they announced it yet. I was expecting it at the end of this week, but like, no shit.
Every other ad on my Facebook is
yes,
literally
see, I don't know.
$29.99 Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
And I don't know.
Holy
when I'm gonna,
shit! You were right,
Are they
Jesse.
still showing all the PLEs on Peacock for the rest of the year, or are they going right to?
No.
Or are they going to
Clash,
ESPN?
Yeah, Clash in Paris is technically
Is going to be the last
one.
one on Peacock.
Yeah.
Besides,
So technically speaking, I could drop Peacock and just keep
no.
that, but
Besides NXT,
Yeah.
they're keeping NXT on Peacock,
crap, I got to keep
Yeah.
both
so you got to keep it.
But
for now.
But that's the thing, Jesse. Actual business
Saturday night's
people
main event.
would have made. Well,
Then now on Peacock because that's going to be exclusive.
Yeah.
There's not going to be ads on that anymore.
yeah.
And then we won't get like promos cut off at the end.
Correct.
But yeah,
But that's all
but
right.
yeah, no, Jesse, the fact that everyone thought that Disney, of all companies, was going to ask you for another 30 a month on top of what they already get. That's not how they made their business model.
No.
That's not how Disney's ever made a dime.
You know, Jesse, I think you've been being Stodamus for how many years on here?
I know, it's quite ridiculous.
And not there's a few people that understand that, but there's more people that don't. They gotta learn.
No, but the
when
reason
the
is,
predicts,
back to what I said,
he's generally
Jesse.
right.
Just like the guy that we always talk about who wants to claim that WWE killed the British wrestling scene. Nobody wants to be wrong, and they don't want the old evil empire to now be the good guys. They don't want the dynamic to flip.
Or how about this? There's no good or bad. There's just a lot of gray, and there's going to be a lot of shit you don't like.
Well,
that's business.
our friend.
Well, okay. I say this all the time, and I don't care what anyone says to me. Everyone's always like, well, you hate, big business. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it, but you use Amazon. Because I'm not stupid.
Oh, yeah, no, I use it.
That's the way of the world.
I got another
I
comment
can get something
here.
I can get something in 2 days.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Don't use Amazon. So what you got to do is you got to go to a science lab, right? And you got to make a negasonic horse that is like atomically fast.
Yeah.
And you have to make it get your packages every day.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Meanwhile, they just opened a new distribution center in my fucking hometown.
Just right over there.
And I can't. And I'm going to sit here and be like, well, I'm going to order it from this other site.
Zach, you don't pay the $10 a month, okay? You pay $2.7 billion for the Megasonic horse.
Jesse, I don't pay for Amazon Prime.
Your wife does not have to pay the extra $10 a month.
Wait a minute.
You pay $2.5 billion for the Megasonic horse.
I've explained this on the show. My father pays for my Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah, it is your dad.
By accident. It was he didn't, folks, my father did not do that for his kids. It was an accident that guess what? Because Amazon was so good, why would he fix the accident when it didn't cost him any extra?
Well, I'm about to say, it wasn't hurting anything. You're like, all right.
That's basically what it was.
Yeah,
Why would I choose to pay the $10 a month when it's not costing my father an extra 10? He's already paying. He was already okay. Lunacy. Pure lunacy. You've got something to say?
Our Love Revere has another comment about the reason why things are weird in WWE.
Go for it.
He believes the old SmackDown laptop manager came back, and that's his calling shots.
Damn you, Hornswoggle!
I don't know.
I love that comment.
I don't know. Hornswoggle's been sounding really smart in these interviews.
Well, yeah. No.
The Peter Dinklage thing was fucking hilarious.
I still think
there's so many little people that hate Peter Dinklage. It's hilarious.
The funniest thing, that was great, but when he said that The Rock came back and thought he was a Make-A-Wish child when he first met him.
We're trying to have a serious conversation, and you got to bring up this dumb story. God, I love having you on the show.
That was the funniest.
You have no idea where this show is going at any point in time, but you find a way.
I'm in my own.
You are in your own bubble.
I still love it.
It's great. It's great.
I'm just the same interview. That was one of my funniest parts of the whole video.
But all I'm saying is that Jesse, there is no way, based on facts, history, and logic, that Disney sat in a room and said, you know what everyone wants to do? Pay us $30 more a month.
It never made sense.
No.
We want the subscribers. Why would we force them to pay all this extra money and make them not want to just pay one
But Jesse, okay, we need to go back for a second. And we all need to concentrate on this for a second. It's a non-wrestling story, but it needs to be told to make sense. Bob Iger retired. They put Bob JPEG in charge.
JPEG, yeah.
JPEG. He was told by Bob Iger on the way out, here's what you gotta do, and everything will work itself out. And Jesse, what did JPEG do?
He tried to do things his own way.
He tried to do things because what did he see? He saw the color red. It's really funny. When it comes to spreadsheets, old white men love the color black. When it comes to you guys, it's a weird fucking opposite.
Not as much.
It's a weird situation.
Not as much.
Ask the
Bulls like
president.
the color red too, but that's different.
But no, Jesse. That's what I'm.
Colorblind,
But that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Disney had a plan, and Bob knew it was gonna work because Bob Iger sat there and like you said, looked at Netflix, who wasn't profitable for the first 5 years of their existence.
Shit, like 10 years, yeah.
Well, no. When they went to streaming is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, America. Disney doesn't do the grassroots thing. That's not their business model.
No.
So when you tell me that their idea was, well, I've already got Jesse and Leroy paying $14.99 a month for Disney Plus. How you know what those two guys want to do? They want to add another $29.99 a month in order to get 10 shows. Bob Iger's like, are you fucking smoking something up in this bitch?
Something really good, or they think we're smoking something.
But Jesse, what happened? Actually, you and I remember you and I, because I called you about this. You and I talked about this off air. It was the same visceral reaction from the IWC as when the Saudi thing came out. Mm-hmm. It was an immediate reaction where no one thought it through, no one thought logically, because... And again, I say your name a lot because I want to give you credit where no one else will. Jesse came on here and he said the U.S. government under the Biden administration was never going to let the Saudis take WWE.
No.
They were literally going to step in and say, you are not going to take a publicly traded company on our market and be the fucking sole owner. It was never going to happen. It was a litmus test that I guarantee you somebody leaked, and I still think their name is Stephanie McMahon.
I'm pretty sure.
But anyway, nobody at Disney ever said, and this is the thing, Jesse, what does everyone need to wait for? What the company that we're discussing will say.
Right.
Disney and ESPN, the parent company Disney Incorporated, has not put out a statement saying that we're going to charge you an extra $30 a month for ESPN. No. You know what they have done? They've put out there on official ads on Meta, which is Facebook.
And everywhere else.
Here's a bundle with ESPN for $29.99 a month.
And saying
you can add Hulu and Disney Plus together with ESPN, and bada bing, bada boom. It's for the same price we thought we were going to have to add the ESPN service to.
Yeah,
guys,
I was just waiting for it.
Guys,
that's all I was doing.
Disney is the most powerful entity in entertainment, which is why Jesse always laughs at
almost the world, man.
Well, duh. That's why Jesse laughs at the girl from Snow White. Like, sweetie, you cost yourself a future in entertainment. You don't understand.
Okay.
And all you had to do was keep your little opinions to yourself. I'm not diminishing her as a female. I'm not diminishing her of having an opinion. But you work for someone who doesn't have the same opinion as you and who is paying you. You know what Scarlett Johansson has yet to do? Besmirch anyone at Disney who's not named JPEG.
That's right.
Okay.
Because they fixed the problem.
Here, I have a fun question because we talk about it all the time. Who is more powerful, Disney or the NFL?
Oh, Disney.
Okay.
The real question, though, Leroy, that
Disney just dug their fucking hands
and
to the
Leroy.
Oh yeah, they
Leroy,
did.
I'm sorry, but you're not asking the right.
I forgot about that.
I understand why you won't ask the right question, but the question you should be asking, because it's true whether you like it or not. Disney's more powerful than God. I'm sorry, they are.
Not yet, but they're getting there.
No.
Oh, they'll get there.
No.
Leroy. I love that you think for 5 seconds.
When Joel Osteen all of a sudden has Mickey Mouse ears on his TV program in 5 years. You and your pastor will sit there and go, well.
We don't care about him.
I mean, we all know he's kind of a scam artist, but like...
Kind of a scam artist?
Well, he is a scam
$40 million megachurch.
But the moment that happens...
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had a wonderful thing, at church today, and he's saying that the Sabbath, we should work on the Sabbath, so I shouldn't be doing this on the Sabbath. But he says, but if God wants you to, you do it. I'm like, well, God wants me to do this podcast with these two lovely people.
I love how
that's why I'm doing it.
I love how he spiritualizes away from the fact that he basically admitted what I've been trying to get him to admit for the last 6 months, which is if the NFL puts a game on at 5 a.m., you're going to church at 3 in the morning.
They do have the London games on at 8, but
yeah,
that's all right.
Yeah,
I don't watch those. I'm sleeping.
Minnesota's playing 2 of them.
Shit.
One in Ireland and one in London.
Yeah,
I have to go to bed early
because there's the Wembley
Saturday.
game and then there's the Ireland game. Yeah.
I go to bed early Saturday so I can.
But
listen
all I'm
to that
saying is
before I
this:
go to church.
your service, fine, Leroy. You don't want to go to 3 a.m. You'll just do the Catholic thing and have a 5:30 service on Saturday if there's a 5 a.m. football game.
I'd have to talk
NFL's
to my,
king, baby.
I'd have to talk to my pastor. We can do it.
But all I'm saying is this:
We're live on YouTube,
Jesse
on
has
Facebook, so we're
Jesse has stood here and he has never wavered on the things that he has said, and not even as a joke. You've been right so much. It's not even worth questioning when you come on here and you don't get, up where you're trying to be all kayfabe funny and like talk about. When you sit here seriously and talk about business, you've actually never really been wrong. Just because a storyline didn't go the way that you thought doesn't mean the business side went that way.
I wasn't too sure when I first heard him a couple times, but then after that I was like,
but all I'm saying is
Jesse
that
has the reason for
is
it.
that
He's good.
Meta of all people who run on ads, because we all remember the old Farmville days. It was nothing but farmland. All as far as there were no ads on Facebook, and then Facebook learned how much money they could make on ads.
I remember playing.
Holy crap! Did that open a whole new can of worms? To now,
damn you, Farmville.
To now, we
you
turn
all
around.
Played it. You all played it.
Yes, I did.
I told you all to not do it. I said, damn it, that's the devil's game.
Jesse, take that black finger and point it that way. I never played a day on Farmville.
You all played it, but you guys are like, oh, it's fun because you got the pigs. And I'm like, those pigs are demons.
Never.
You are giving that robotic piece of shit who owns Facebook too much of a mind to go, oh, fuck, I could just load my frame with nothing but ads.
But what ended up happening was now there are ads after ads about this bundle, and it's funny because the bundle includes this little thing called ESPN. Hey, where are those PLEs going to be?
ESPN.
So why in the world would a company built on buying up entities that already have a name? Because, by the way, if Star Wars was this little production company that had one indie hit 20 years ago, Disney would not have paid for it.
No.
Disney would not have written a $3.05 billion check for that guy. They've been trying to get the Lord of the Rings series from Peter Jackson for years, and he still won't sell it to them.
Well, New Line is not letting that go.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesse, my Lord and Savior has forgiven me for Farmville.
He better.
He does.
I hope so.
He's a very forgiving guy.
You, my mother, my sister.
Yeah.
I warned you sons of bitches in 2013. I said, don't do it.
Never played a day.
Stop sharing that shit.
Never played a day of Farmville.
I had a conversation with him where I'm okay. And everybody else is.
My buddy met Mark Zuckerberg when Facebook had started blowing up.
Yeah.
And he told me, because I remember, and this is when I knew, especially as a guy who almost got himself expelled from this high school for trying to hack the servers, is he went, if that dude ever gets any idea about how to use AI and make money off of our likenesses and AI and on games and all that, he's going to be fucking a billionaire. Look at him now! He said that after one meeting and a couple of drinks with the guy. He was like, the dude's a nerd. He's like, I was trying to get him off of talking about Facebook, but he would talk nothing but Facebook.
Well,
he's not one of us.
It's better in MySpace.
So once again,
Tom was a good guy.
I know I love Tom. He was my favorite friend on there.
Tom was a good dude.
Tom
also sold the company for a lot of money and just lived off it.
He was my favorite loyal friend on there.
But all I'm saying is
this. Smart.
But all I'm saying is this. What in the world makes you guys think that with the 100-year history of hospitality and always about the consumer first, whether you guys think they are or not they are, that they are going to make you pay $29.99 for this bundle and then also make you pay another $29.99 just for 10 shows? Are you people high? You know, Jesse, what really made me realize that you were right was the moment I was like, holy shit, it's the same fucking price down to the penny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They had this plan the whole fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what they've realized? Hulu and Disney Plus as separate entities makes no sense.
When they're owned by the same company.
Disney, surprisingly, the true evil empire, other than the church, the true evil empire,
Not your church.
not yours, the Catholics. Relax.
Okay, good.
We
Well,
all know the Vatican is the place we should really
They're-
storm.
They're not evil. They're just
Catholics aren't evil. That's a quote I don't want you to ever say again on my
not,
airwaves.
They're not totally evil. They're just misguided.
That's the nicest goddamn thing you've ever said about anything on this planet.
that's like-
You could not compliment your children, sir, more than what you just did. It is impossible.
No, I don't know. I don't know. That was like defending an uncle you know should be in prison, but's at the family dinner.
That was fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, they're just...
Remind me never to send you into a business negotiation fucking ever after that
It's
moment.
not that it's evil.
Wait.
it's just-
Wow.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know. After
God
that
will-
statement, I'm questioning
Whatever
a lot.
I say at a business, God will
Woo!
forgive me for that.
It's not evil. It's just misguided.
It's so misguided.
Needs a place to put
Says
all
the
that,
people who started how many crusades?
all that hatred and shit.
Moving on.
All that blasphemy.
But anyway,
I know.
it was down to the penny. Surprisingly, the evil empire that everyone thinks are the ones going, we own all this. Everyone's getting slowly to that point where, oh my God, everything's on a streaming service. Why would we pay for 8 streaming? And some people do, which is the most fucking crazy thing I've ever seen in my life. You want fucking South Park, but you don't want Paramount? Or sorry, it's back to HBO Plus, or yeah, Max now. Just buy the DVDs.
Yeah.
Guys, as soon as SpongeBob is like finally canceled, which at this point it might outlive us all, when that finally gets canceled in my lifetime, I've got every season on DVD. It's also unedited, not the bull crap. Because again, the Panty Raid episode gets pulled out, but there's some episodes of SpongeBob that are creepy as shit.
Yeah.
That are still allowed on your child's
It's
television.
either
You think the
SpongeBob
Panty
or
Raid?
the Simpsons are going to be around.
You
when
think
we
the
die.
Panty Raid episode is the worst thing SpongeBob's ever done? Okay, whatever.
I hear that. I think of Revenge of the Nerds.
Exactly. Well,
Great movie.
Well,
That was an awesome movie.
Well, Leroy, that was the literal spoof of the episode. But
Yeah.
anyway, but no, it's like,
Great movie, though.
but no, it's like if you want Lilo and Stitch unedited with the washing machine, yada yada, buy a DVD before the year that it was edited.
There we go.
It's not complicated.
I forgot about that scene.
If you're a good parent, you will never allow your child to watch the live action Lilo and Stitch. Because there's so many fucking things wrong about it, it should be in prison. That's right. I want a whole movie in prison.
I will watch when it comes out on Disney Plus.
The fuck you will.
Alone.
The fuck you will.
Alone.
Okay.
Not with my
Stop,
children.
stop.
No,
Nope,
I don't
nope,
care.
Nope, pause the show. Nope, I ain't doing this shit. Nope. Let me be very clear to you.
And just like you
No Gantu.
No Gant.
Fucking Jumba's the bad guy. Has no accent. Pleakley's a fucking moron. And do you know how it ends? She gives up Lilo to Child Protective Services in order to go to college on the mainland to become a marine biologist.
I'm morbidly curious.
She lives in Hawaii.
See, that's why I was watching.
Let me
watch the movie
finish.
first. I still will watch it.
I
No!
think I have to
What
watch
is
this
the
movie.
point? I gave you the only thing you need.
No, I
Do
think
you realize?
I think I have to see this out of morbid curiosity.
This will just drive Zach nuts because I
Do
will watch it.
you realize?
I'm still slightly
Do
tempted
you
to watch that Snow
realize-
White movie.
Do you realize, Leroy, that as a born
I
and
just watched it last night.
nice.
I'm still tempted to
Do
watch
you
it.
realize
I don't
that
know.
as
Yes.
a native Hawaiian person,
Yes.
if you stay on the mainland, or sorry, stay on the island,
Yes.
you get to go to college for free.
Really?
So why would she go to the mainland United States
I'll have to ask that
for
Kathy, too.
college?
Because Disney said so.
That's what I'm saying. Back to the show.
Wow. You know,
fucking said so.
our lovely, undead Jesse Corey.
Oh,
He said he watched he saw a divorce happen over Farmville. I understand that probably did happen.
I mean, yeah,
But
I see that. Kind
I love your
But-
comments, Corey. But
now-
ask us a question. We'll
But now
answer it at
back
the
to
end of the
this to finish up. Jesse's
'Cause
right because
Zach is
Jesse
done
looked
ranting.
at the logic of a corporation that Jesse. What have they only ever been about?
Money.
Thank you.
show. The
But you
most
know
on
what, Jesse? You want to know why they're not evil? Because they've at least admitted from day one it was always a cash grab.
And their owner hates Jews.
Well, most
Well,
money. They have
we
more
all
with them.
hey, they can pretend it didn't exist. I watched Donald Duck be a Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched it. I've seen that.
That was a very interesting time when they did that.
I always laugh because people. No, I laugh at like Snoop talking about the whole Disney's gone woke. I'm like, Snoop, Disney did a lot worse back in the days when there was no such thing as woke. Disney's got a lot more they want to hide than two dudes kissing in a movie.
They produced the most anti-Nazi stuff during World War II.
Did he say the word woke because of two dudes kissing in a Disney movie?
I don't think he used that word, but well, no. Actually, I'm going to defend Snoop here because Snoop was coming from a place that I think a lot of people are, which is I think, especially from where you see a lot of people grow up, Snoop was saying, I don't think it should be in a kid situation. I don't necessarily agree with Snoop, but I get where he's coming from. I don't think Snoop's anti-woke.
Didn't Disney come from a Jewish family?
No.
No.
What the
Walt
hell?
Disney?
Whoa.
Walt
Disney was very anti-Jew.
I think he was Polish, but he
was Polish?
did not like Jews.
He was from.
Oh, he did. Oh, I
He
thought
was from cold ass Kansas.
Yeah.
No,
There ain't no Jews in Kansas.
They're everywhere.
There are now.
Well, there are now, but maybe not when he
Yeah.
was
Probably
a kid.
not.
Oh,
They're not
probably
the
not when
Polish,
he was a
but
kid.
they're
I thought somewhere in his family was some Jewish heritage, but Polish.
Leroy.
Okay, there we go.
Leroy. To quote my grandfather, who was a historian for many years, all those people who said that Hitler was self-hating, yes, if you dig deep enough into someone's history, I've got Native American blood. Jesse's got white people probably somewhere deep down.
I'm certain there is.
But Leroy, that's not to say that Walt Disney didn't have a random relative that maybe even he knew that was a non-practicing of Jewish descent. But that's not saying that it was a Jewish practicing family.
He was from. Well,
We're gonna get off this topic because we're getting far deep into stuff we don't
if
want
he
to
has
get.
a descendants from Poland, I understand.
So we're not going to talk about this anymore. We're going to move on, but we're going to finish up with
What are we going to go to?
Jesse. 10 shows a year. They're not going to charge you $60. They're going to have you buy this new bundle. They're going to combine two things you already had, and they're going to give you ESPN for nothing. Because guess what? They have been acquiring so much. ESPN is now back on top of sports by default because they bought everything else.
Hulu's probably is going away. I thought, isn't it? Eventually,
Yeah.
Well, it just probably become Disney Live.
Yeah.
But
it's part of.
It'll all just
does
become the
not
same
fucking
thing.
matter because I have a VPN. So, like, for me,
You have WWE Network.
I have whatever the fuck I want with a VPN. Like, I'm good, bro.
Anyway, moving back
I think
to
that's the only reason why I'm going to get.
moving back to wrestling.
Get VPN by the end of the
Moving
year.
back to wrestling, as we get back into it, I am going. All right, I love the long soliloquy. Sometimes I want to actually cut our side tangents and put those as clips on YouTube. That would be kind of fun, but we'll do that at a later date. But anyway,
I got to find a program. So
But
I can do
anyway,
that with the videos.
okay,
now.
so I'm now going to ask you this question: Is
No.
this whole lull in the IWC where WWE is not considered the top thing? Is Dwayne to blame?
No, it's more than him at this point. And there's really not a law. I mean, listen, some people think SmackDown is boring, which is, I think it's an odd thing. I don't think
SmackDown is the most AEW that WWE is because SmackDown is where you get a lot of the wrestling.
right.
yes,
SmackDown is a lot like Dynamite in the sense of you kind of have to really be in the know on SmackDown a little more, but there's also a lot more action. You got something on your lip, by the way.
I don't think SmackDown's
Is SmackDown back to where it used to be, to where it's a lot of maybe under talent that's trying to
I
move
think
up?
it's a good show.
Yeah.
Is it an exciting show every week? Probably not. No. I find excitement in it because I'm a big White Six guy. But, otherwise, there's that. I know Raw. People are like, "Well, Raw's boring." I'm like, I don't see that.
no, I don't see Raw boring at all.
They do a lot of fun shit on Raw every week.
Well, Jesse, it's interesting you bring that up because
Hell, I'll tell all AEW fans, this Dynamite is not boring.
Misguided.
They got to work on their storytelling.
Misguided is the perfect word for AEW right now.
What's funny to me though is that going
That's
back,
the most Christian thing he said.
That's right. Thank you.
I've been getting much more apologetic about AEW instead of anti-AEW, but my problem is starting to understand. I'm starting to understand that Jesse brought to light last week what has been the most true thing this whole time. And the night that it all came to a head, and no one will ever admit it, was All Out, Adam Cole, and Daniel Bryan. And before I have you two respond, let me explain what I mean to people.
Was that when they showed up?
Yes.
Okay.
What happened on that night
I find that
was Adam Cole came in with all the momentum in the world because all of the internet talk was so negative towards WWE. And then they literally took all that momentum and threw it out the door because as soon as he walked out, they debuted a guy who had no internet heat left because that story had pretty much died. But he was gone. He wasn't under contract. People pretty much knew he was going to be there, but he was still the most beloved guy outside of WWE, arguably ever. Daniel Bryan comes in, and everyone sits there and says, we have seized the momentum. And the reason why I say it died that night was because the very next Dynamite, everyone's sitting there saying the same thing. Where's the follow-up? Where's the opening A block of the show where Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole are in the ring finding an issue with each other and getting ready to have this blow off? It never happened. And Jesse said, again, before you go, I just got to get this out. Jesse said every single AEW diehard looked in the mirror and they realized this is exactly what I would have done. This is exactly, folks, right now there's a negotiation going on or not going on in the NFL that is one of the stupidest things and makes Jesse go out of his fucking hair because how do you not sign a guy who is literally mathematically in the Hall of Fame right now? Oh, wait. Jesse, it's because he told you how business is done. Micah Parsons, Jesse, agreed to what Jerry said. You know who didn't agree to it? The biggest agent in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
So what that tells you is that a person like Micah Parsons, 25 years old, no one's going to say he's not brilliant because he's made a lot of money so far in his life.
Yeah.
But he's not a contract negotiator. Jerry's 80 years old. He's been doing this his whole life. And he's the and in the end, let me relate this all back. When I say the fans said that's what I would have done, they would have been impulsive. They moved on to the next thing in their mind. You can hate Vince all you want. Up until the end there, he really did put aside what he wanted to do and said, you know what? My pay-per-view ended. And this was the biggest talking point at the end of my pay-per-view. Let's have it open the show. And what's happening?
That would have worked.
And what's happening is, Jesse, the impulsiveness of Micah Parsons is to say, I like that money, I like this. The agent says, we got a few things we got to hammer out.
Right.
Now, the diehards, they looked in the mirror and they were like, I want to move on to the next thing because I have all these toys. And that's what Tony did. But you know what the diehards also realized, Jesse? Yeah, that doesn't really come together in a cohesive story.
Well,
Right.
when, Bebe is out there and then Brian shows up. That's
I'm talking after.
I'm just saying, when that happens, I kind of feel like I need a balloon and then the sound effect of air being released from that balloon because
but
they didn't do nothing with it.
Well, that's my point. They
didn't even have to have both of them debut at the same time.
Also
back to back.
Well, also because Jesse, if they debuted at the same time, wouldn't it logically say to themselves they're gonna fight each other?
Right.
Because they came out of different tubes, right?
No.
Or they came out of the same. Because they had that heel.
The tube thing's
baby
irrelevant.
face tube.
The tube thing's irrelevant because Adam was already in the ring when Brian came out. But no, my point is this. my point is this. Jesse said that people, it's self-hate. Jesse, they know now what Triple H and Vince have known forever. I'm going to give you what you want, but I've got to make you go through a couple of hoops to get it.
Sure.
Because that's what creates intrigue.
Sure.
Jesse, why does a band release a first single?
To get noticed.
Why does a band
To get a
then,
taste.
over the next 6 months, tease 1 or 2 songs, and at least one of those songs doesn't sound like the first single?
To give the audience a bit of intrigue into what the band actually is.
And then when the record finally comes out, it's usually 6 to 8 more songs than what they've already given you.
Correct.
I mean, I always say to myself, go back to, I think it was Human Clay by Creed. Almost that whole album came out as singles, and they sold like 10 million copies of each single. That's why that band got huge.
It's like fucking there were these 5 songs off of that album.
Yeah, but I mean, Jesse, there are more
good
songs
album.
on that album, but there's something for everyone.
Right.
Classic Creed fans got what maybe weren't singles. The radio got the 5 or 6 singles, and then the
Right.
world found out they were the biggest band in the world for a short period of time.
Right.
But Jesse, you say self-hate. Take me now, what I've explained to people, take me through the mind of a diehard when you watched that whole Dynamite following All Out, and you realized he didn't follow up on this at all. Because they all looked at themselves and said, fuck!
There had to be a point where, like, there has to be pure frustration, because to just go on the internet and lie about, like, no, it was great and all this, like, no, it wasn't.
Or asked, was Vince McMahon booking this and thought it was after WrestleMania?
Well, because here's the thing, like, any TV show, like, when I used to watch Supernatural, there were times where an episode would come on. Now, to be fair, when I finally, like, really caught up to it, was, like, by the time it was on, like, season 10. But I remember, like...
Have you finished it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Everything from season 8 on was just pandering.
Well, it wasn't... Pandering is a strong word. It wasn't really pandering. It was just... It was a lot of filler.
Yeah.
And I remember getting to season 9,
I love
and
that series.
I'm like, man, this whole thing with these damn Leviathans and...
That was a crazy season.
It was crazy, but it was super unfucking necessary. In the end, like, they were so unnecessary. But that was a long way around, because they got renewed for 4 more seasons, to get to Amaya, which was God's sister. So...
And that was fun.
Which was really good. The Darkness. Though they cast that woman as the Darkness, and I'm like, to call me evil nigga, kiss him. How Dean said no makes him a stronger man than me.
Back
But
to the
what
diehards looking in the mirror.
But what I'm relating it to is
Yeah.
this: there's a sense of frustration of, like, okay, the show is decent. I'm not gonna stop watching. It hasn't turned me off away from it to stop watching. But you're also like, guys, I hope by the end of this we're getting to something really good, because we have left 2 really good stories behind to do all this. And that's AEW at times, and that's WWE at times, to be fair.
Yeah.
SmackDown. Love the promo stuff between. Well, poor kid didn't realize, like, if John Cena's going to cook you, he's just going to cook you, and he got cooked. But
He's good at doing that.
using Drew as the setup to him finally having the balls to quote unquote lay hands on Cena, right?
Yeah.
Or sneak attack Cena.
Yeah.
But
That
before
sounds all right.
before then, you do something really exciting where we finally now hear one of the GMs talk about, hey, I heard from Brock. Well, because we've been on pause for that for like 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So, yes, did he miss the punch? Sure. Like I said, to be honest, at first I didn't even notice. To be fair to WWE, I think if you were watching it live, you didn't even catch that he missed it.
No.
Because when he was talking to John about Brock, you were like hooked for a second, like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, are we going to finally hear about Brock
But
here?
to go back to that, what do you think they were saying to themselves? Because okay,
There's
hold
well,
on, hold
what
on.
I'm saying
my
is,
long-winded. Okay, my,
there has to be a sense of disappointment.
that's what I'm saying. The
Yeah.
long-winded way of saying they know Tony fucked up, but
Well,
they
yeah.
can't. But they're a lot like Dave. They can't say it out loud because for some strange reason, we have a world filled with people who can't admit, "Yep, that didn't work. Moving on, next thing."
Especially for AEW diehard. Here's what I don't get about that because
Diehard or sickos?
Same
well,
thing.
both. But it's
All right.
It's, and I want to say this to them. And I keep saying this to you guys. And you take it as an insult, but it's the dumbest thing to take as an insult. You're actually only hurting your own enjoyment
Yeah.
when you can't be honest about the show you're watching, the show that you're helping to support.
You have seen how many people sit there and they've sat outside of a metal show and they've said they're not this band or that band. And you're like, yeah, it's kind of the point. But you're sitting here comparing the two.
Oh boy, I don't want to go too deep into that.
Yeah.
Because I have been the guy who either booked the show and my band's playing or not.
Yeah.
And seen metalheads outside. Well, they're not the main band I came to see, and it's just like, yeah, but you already paid the fucking $8. Just go enjoy it, you fucking twit. Like you're already here.
Yeah.
But that's different, and
Yep.
metal fans have gotten on themselves about it enough. Like, bro, if you're paying to support the bands, which is awesome, then just go fucking support them all. If you don't like it when they're done, you just like, man, that didn't fucking work for me. I'll probably never watch that band again. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing. It's all subjective, and I'm not saying that AEW fans have to follow the model of this.
No, but I like some earnesty.
They need to be honest.
Like
They need to tell themselves.
I know people think JD from New York all of a sudden is like this paid WWE show, which he is not.
No.
This guy was the biggest AEW diehard.
And no offense to JD, I'm not even saying this as a negative. If he was getting paid, he'd probably tell you.
By the way, and I know he's not a paid show because he fucking hated SmackDown, and I don't know how you can hate SmackDown. It wasn't that bad of a show, to me. But it's like, no, he watched it enough where he's just like, this is not getting better.
He's probably the biggest former diehard who's come out and been honest and gotten ripped for it.
Right.
But what bothers me is...
By the way, really quick, wrestlers, you have every right to defend where you work. But understand, in the line of work you're in, it's just like an actor. It's just like a musician. You're going to take criticism. Like that, you're in the performance art. You're gonna take criticism. If you cannot handle that, man, I got some shit news.
You want to know why I always give a lot of love to those all-time great glam metal guys? Jesse, they knew what they were called in the magazines.
The best part, they knew what they were. So I just watched that yesterday.
Yeah.
The Wyatt series documentary. That guy. I want to say Chris White or Sam White or something. He did the documentary.
That was Sam Dunn.
Thank you, Sam Dunn. And he did that documentary like 15, 16 years ago.
Metal, a Headbangers
Yes.
Journey. Yeah.
And so the glam metal one popped up. I'm like, man, I don't remember this.
I watched that this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they knew what they were. They were like, listen.
It was the drummer from Poison, who I remember. Ricky was the bassist, so it wasn't the
But he was like,
we knew what we were.
The girls wanted to fuck us, and the dudes wanted to beat our asses, but we knew what we were.
And remember, Gary Holt from Exodus said, "Oh yeah, in public we were the leather-wearing jacket dudes going like fuck this thing, but we were at all their shows.
We were always at the shows." So it reminded me a lot of like the metalcore scene. I remember the big metalcore scene around here. And, like, sometimes we would have the pop-punk band, and the metalcore guys would sit in the corner, fucking arms crossed, fucking pop-punk guys. But you were actually kind of secretly supporting them. You kind of like what they were doing.
Now, the Metallica thing will always be different because when their fans turned their back to the glam guys that they were on stage with, that was different, but that's because they moved to San Francisco later on.
Well, right. But it's one of those things where, like...
But they knew what they were. Glam metal knew what it was.
Right, and here's the thing. No one's saying you cannot enjoy what you enjoy, but what makes it fun to be a part of a fandom is when fans aren't. It's not the extreme, but it's just you can be honest.
Well, remember Sam Dunn, the anthropologist who ended up doing that whole thing. He said, "I was into Slayer. I was into Celtic Frost.
He didn't really like the glam
I
bands.
didn't like, but he knew he had to research it.
Right.
And he even said at the end of it, it played a very important role.
Yes.
And Jesse, remember, a lot of people are now, sadly, he's passed. Jamie Lane is no longer the pariah of glam metal that he used to be. The record company kind of were the ones that told him to be what he was.
He was,
Warrant.
and everyone knew before he passed away. God rest his soul. Like,
Yeah.
Wow, Capitol Records, you pieces of shits.
Yeah.
Like, but still,
Because a lot of people called him the Antichrist for a while. Like, I mean, he was.
It was just like everything that he ended up doing. It was pushed on him,
Right.
So he could make money. He didn't want to do it,
Right.
But that's the big thing. Like, there has to be.
It also doesn't help, Jesse, that, like you said, musicians, this, that. It doesn't help that the wrestlers cannot publicly be honest while they're getting paid by Tony.
That's been the big thing. Like, it's one thing when it's an overzealous fan base online, right? But when the wrestlers, like, listen, listen, I'm a New Yorker. I don't think JD is my kind of New Yorker.
Yeah.
But like I've told people, I'm like, my problem with the wrestlers was I could see if he had a criticism and you actually wanted to debate the criticism with him because you performed it. I get it. You performed what was seen. But you just dog shitting on him and he's not to be taken.
Well, not to
seriously.
mention the fact how many.
It was like, wait, what?
Well, not to mention the fact I've been watching his comment section recently on Facebook, and the amount of people who will actually comment. He's always hated us. He's always been like you said. He was one of the biggest defenders of it.
I can go find the videos, and sometimes, and he's thanked me a couple times. I've posted his videos in some of these chats that talk about him being like this big AEW hater. And I'm like, no. He was one of the original guys, but fuck WWE. This company's going to take over WWE. Blah, blah, blah. Vince can die. Like, I remember that shit. And I remember smiling after I saw the goddamn, which we still got to do a review of.
The press conference.
Yeah, because I went, boy, none of these people know what the fuck they're doing.
But now, Jesse, before we move on to some results here of the week, we are going to continue this sort of ongoing series of like, guys, you're mad because he did exactly what you would have done, and you realize that your way of it is not the way that ultimately leads to the biggest growth / payday /
Right.
Because, Jesse, the thing that people don't understand and don't want to understand,
The only reason Vince originally feared this company, and I get why,
because of the money.
because it was the deep-ass pockets. It was the first time in a long time, because Dixie Carter's family's pockets were deep, but he already knew.
Yeah.
So, but with him, he knew he already pissed off this guy's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew, like, fuck, Shad Khan's pockets are pretty damn deep. They're
Yep.
deeper than mine.
Yep.
So that's why I think he originally took it very seriously.
Yeah.
Because he was like, if Shad Khan has anything to do with this, I'm in real trouble.
Right.
But then he realized, like, not even a threat to me.
Shad does what all billionaires do and eventually picks up a business where they're like, it's keeping the kids happy. I don't give a damn if I make a dime off it because it
Right.
doesn't hurt me. Because like I
Right.
said, Shad Khan takes a fucking fart and he wastes more money than AEW will ever waste in their lives. And my favorite part is that Dave Meltzer finally reported they're finally profitable 6 years later. And Jesse, now I want to point this out. You've said yourself, all businesses will fail for a period of time and they have to grow. So why is me saying that Dave saying after 6 years is profitable is actually laughable? And everyone's like, but you just said it's because of those pockets.
Right.
It's because, Jesse, it had no business failing this much. And you want to know the other reason why I'm right about this? Because, Jesse, it'd be one thing if this was the size of the crowd at the first show.
Correct.
They had 14,000 people
They had more than WWE
at the
would.
first
Yep.
Dynamite.
Yep.
And the fact that you can't even reach 1/5 of that now, how is that you saying to me, well, we're still growing? You don't get to say it anymore. Because technically,
Right.
numbers-wise, You're falling, not growing.
You've shrunk.
And Jesse, you and I talk about this all the time.
And by the way, here's the thing. Congratulations on, well, I think it was 18,000 in the O2 for this.
Yeah.
For this show.
Almost 19,000. Yeah.
But like, I want you to realize you damn near sold out Wembley 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That is not good.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That's not good.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. You did not succeed, gentlemen. Because Jesse, I know that you, as someone who has worked with so many people, this, that, yada, 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 you would look at a business partner or a band member and someone say, man, we're really going someplace, and you played a show half the size in the same venue 6 months after you were already there. You look at that as a problem.
That's a failure.
That's a failure.
Like, people have now stopped wanting to come to see us. That's a problem. That's a failure.
And even if you feel better musically, you got to find – I've always told people this. If you have the ability to make 40 records your whole life and never have to make a dime, go fulfill your artistic greatness. Right. But, Jesse, bands have gotten so much hate for selling out. But like you said about, Janie, he had to make money to pay for his fucking life. This is what he did for a living.
Right.
So if the record company's going to give him some guaranteed money to put Cherry Pie on the fucking record, he's going to fucking write Cherry Pie.
His life became Cherry Pie.
And you want to know why he ran with it? Because he made a lot of fucking money. He hated the song, by the way.
I loved it.
Actually, no. Again, he passed. I want to get his words right. He said he didn't hate the song. He just didn't want his whole life to be defined by it.
And for not even really a short while, for like a good 15 years it did.
For the majority of his career, that's what it was. Because it was, and I quote, whether he's solo or himself, he had to play it.
Then he had to be in a Cherry Pie commercial.
Later, Leroy. Now is not the time.
Oh, no, I'm just showing
the goddamn hold the horses.
Exciting stuff.
Yes.
I know. We'll get to that.
Exciting
anyway,
stuff.
but before we just give the results of Forbidden Door, and then once we watch it, we'll give another take on it, because Jesse.
Oh, you want to do that and preview Heatwave or no?
Again, would you stop giving away the lead?
That's actually a good question.
You're killing me, Leroy.
Well, we know where
we'll get to Heatwave.
Well, just wonder what you want me to do. I'll pull up the results of Forbidden Door.
I've got them right here. I've had them the whole time.
I just realized people kept saying that Heatwave was going head to head with Forbidden Door.
The time difference was never going to be.
It was like fucking.
So anyway, Jesse. Now again, we're not going to analyze anything. We're just going to go off the results. We're going to analyze what this means. So Jesse, the 0 hour, the Paragon, El Desperado, and Yuya Uemura defeated the Don Callis family with CRU.
Oh, I saw what happened.
Ricochet and Gates of Agony beat Michael Oku and Jet Speed. The Triangle of Madness and Megan Bain beat Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Chris Statler, and Queen Amanita. And the Ops beat the War Dogs.
I saw who fucking came back. I saw who joined the Callis family.
Honey, we'll get there. We'll get there, honey. Now we get to the main show, and here's where everything goes stupid. All right, Jesse, the thing we don't care about because, hey, this wasn't on Dynamite. This was a pay-per-view. This was predictable. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage beat the Patriarchy. Who didn't see that coming? Now, the reason
Yeah, we did say that.
Now, the reason why I'm mad about that is what I'm about to say, because it's going to mess up the whole thing. But before we get there, Jesse, Kyle Fletcher beat Takahashi. This match was thrown together for, I don't know why. What, Takahashi needed a payday?
He could have won that one.
New Japan is a little bit of a mess right now.
No.
Mercedes Moné now has 9 belts. Whatever. And she, again, Jesse, she just won the TBS title. 3 more women are no longer able to fucking be relevant now. What the fuck was the point of that?
Yeah.
I don't really count that Owen Hart belt, but she does.
I'm not even. They don't even count it. She has 9 other belts.
They put it in there.
She won in a different company. They don't actually count that one.
when they put it in there,
then it's 10. But she has 9 separate company belts.
Yeah, it would be 10 to be
every
fair to
time
you.
I see her talking about her belts, they
Jesse,
add that to it. I'm like, who cares
Jesse,
about that one?
what I'm sure was a technical
That don't mean
masterpiece,
shit.
and I will watch for 4 times in a row. Zack Sabre Jr. beat Nigel McGuinness. I'm sure it was great, but like again,
Can't wait to watch it, to be honest.
yeah.
But
Tony Schiavone.
17-minute match.
Wow.
The
Triangle of Madness attacked Queen Amanita. Jamie Hayter came back. She technically never left. You just had her get beat up by Thekla. That's never been backed up, and now she's back. Whatever. But hey, we had to wait till we were in London, her home and everything. Whatever.
Of course.
Now the match.
At least it wasn't the pre-show.
Oh God. Now the match that fucked everything up for your big return. Brody King and Bandito are the tag team champions. It's not just that they beat the Hurt Syndicate, they beat the Hurt Syndicate and FTR. So you couldn't have just given the belts to FTR and had Edge and Christian take something from FTR? I mean, come on, Jesse, you're given soup ingredients and you made fucking water. Like, what the fuck? It's right there.
Not even salty water?
That's actually pretty hilarious. He got water. That's pretty funny.
Hot water.
But Jesse, Brody King and Bandito, and here's the argument from the diehards. Well, it's going to be, but they've been on the show every week. Nowhere near these two teams.
No.
Nowhere fucking near these guys. The fuck you mean? Oh, wait. The Hurt Syndicate beat them up once or fucking twice. They didn't have a story with them. They just beat them up like they did everybody else.
I guess it's nice they got the titles, but there's
Okada beat Swerve.
But there's no point to it.
Congratulations to Bandito and
Brody King.
For getting some title, a title. That's nice, but what's the point?
Okada beat Swerve, and Wardlow is now the 18th cousin of the Callis family.
I thought he was the 20th member.
All I'm saying is they got more cousins than the fucking Partridge family.
I can't wait to see why he's there.
Oh God! Let me guess. He's felt held down by management. I was fucking
what question
lost,
I got a
and Don came and
you know
found
what
me.
question I got a feeling I'm gonna have coming out of watching this match?
What
is gonna be like? Is this now getting to 2000s level of NWO, like bloated? This group.
Oh, we've been way past that. The problem is we don't have any stars. The problem is the star of the crown jewel ain't even Okada. It's technically by booking Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
It's like a gigantic family in Arkansas. You're not sure who is the uncle or
Tony Storm beat Athena for the AEW women's title. You know what? Not even Tony Storm can make fucking this show palatable right now.
And
I don't know.
won by submission.
Pretty good.
Next up, MJF lost to Hangman because MJF got over. You know what? They've made MJF so predictable. Not bad, but predictable. Because it's like, Jesse, a guy who presents themselves as Maxwell Jacob Friedman is not supposed to be this fucking emotional. He's not. Some people have been telling me, well, Triple H Evolution, and I'm sitting here like, Triple H was never out of control emotionally in Evolution, and if he was, Flair brought him back down.
Right.
MJF has now been laughed into a title shot, threatened to fucking set Mark Briscoe on fire. Again, I'm fine with angles, but can we do an angle that might be reasonable? Not something that we know you're not going to do.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, stop taking it to a level that... Jesse, they were never going to pour bleach down FTR's throat, the Death Riders. Jon Moxley is never going to break someone's bones. And you were never going to light Mark Briscoe on fire. This isn't... No, guys. Like, believability. And then, page one... Yada yada.
They said that too. If stipulation aside, there's if
the
count out or disqualified, he would lost the title also.
Wow, this was really a shocker.
The lights out.
Will Ospreay won in his home fucking town in a lights out match. Wow, this was a blood feud I fucking wanted to see.
Apparently, he got taken out at the end though.
Oh, he got taken out at the end.
But yeah, by the team they just beat. So the Death Riders lose a big money match and still come out as the winners with the angle? What the fuck? What is this backwards
Wow.
bullshit?
I can't wait to watch Forbidden Door on a much cheaper version.
Oh my
replay.
god! I'm looking at
Let's
this.
see. I'll watch it free on YouTube.
Oh
like,
my
later if I
god,
feel like it tomorrow.
guys!
Wait a minute. I got to do brakes in my car. I'm going to do that.
How does anyone tell me that this makes sense? Jesse, the Death Riders had one thing going for them. They were the group of the world champion. Now they're not. You know what they did to Evolution when Triple H lost everything? They broke it up.
Correct.
They could have done that.
They didn't revive it until like 15 years later.
Yeah.
You know what happened when when Shawn finally came back and he was no longer the guy? They broke up DX.
And came back for special occasions.
You know what they do to groups that have had some long term together, but they lose on like a huge stage? They don't keep going. This is the stupidest fucking shit on the planet. And you want to know what's even funnier about it? This match ends and Maddie and Nick are nowhere to fucking be seen.
They had lost earlier.
They were in the match.
They were in the
They were
match.
in the match, yeah.
They were in the
They were
fucking
part.
match.
They're part
Apparently
of
they
with
came
the
out
Death
to-
Riders and
apparently
the
they came
Young
out to
Bucks.
Mbop.
Umbop.
They came out to Mbop.
Dude, let me be very clear. There's comedy,
You
and then
know-
there's just plain annoyance of like, Jesse, it's not even funny what Matt and Nick are going through.
How?
It's levels of sad, but like not sad like I want to see them get things back. It's sad of like, why am I watching this?
How could the young band, them young brothers that did such a great job, and to play the song for those guys? That's horrible.
Hanson's like fucking 30 now.
Fuck
Well,
that,
when
they're
they
fucking
first made
30,
it,
they're like 40 now.
when they
I was gonna
made
say-
it, they were all very young. I mean, it was a great.
Pretty sure
good
Isaac
song
is
back
like
then.
43.
Yeah, but no, Leroy. Here's the thing.
No, I don't
underst-
think they're that old.
I under.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Hold on.
Look up Hanson.
I will.
They're Jesse. Let him do that. Stay with me.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I don't even want to talk about the joke Leroy made because it's like, Jesse, I can't. I know the diehards can't defend the Bucks to me right now, but like, it's so sad that I am told for 5 minutes to
Ooh,
watch
you might
these
be right.
guys. Leroy, it's music and Jesse, and you questioned him.
I didn't think they were that old.
God damn. They were like 12 or 13 when they wrote the song in the 90s. It's been almost 30 years.
I know they were.
I don't care. Moving on. I'm just saying that, like, Jesse, I know you're looking at your phone to set up some here, but I'm
You're good.
no. I know I am, but it's like,
I'm listening.
no, I know. And you're going to respond, but your world famous song has to happen first. But I'm just like,
They're all in their 40s, nigga.
yeah. They're all in their 40s, Leroy.
They're all in their 40s.
I'm looking right now.
But I'm just like, while Leroy gets educated on music and we talk about wrestling
Damn.
for a minute.
I honestly didn't think it was that long.
Oh, God.
What? Hey, when you're as old as I am, time like that goes by
Bop.
like that, and
Hit
it's
the
just.
top. I do wop. Skip it oh bop boo bop. Hit the top. You do, nigga. All right, now back to wrestling.
I know.
All right,
80,
appreciate
83
that.
and 85. Holy.
Anyway,
God, I feel even older now.
there is a point when,
I don't know. How it's
like you
possible.
said, Supernatural got to be filler.
Yeah.
Jesse, they ain't even filler. I mean,
Don't make me talk about the Bucks.
no. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm getting to. Then you pair them up with an act that everyone wanted gone a long fucking time ago. Nothing. There was no sizzle to that team.
Here's the thing.
And then the Death Riders, Jesse, you're supposed to do the angle and then go to the lights out. They did the match and now they have a lights out angle.
Yeah, that's what they got to do. Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not care that Bandito and
Brody King
won those tag titles. I don't. I'm not offended by it.
But that's because, Jesse, let's be honest, the Hurt Syndicate was already so above that tag division anyway.
At this point.
Hopefully,
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully Bandito and Brody, and I'm going to give them the best of luck. Hopefully they can revive that tag team division.
But let's talk about that main event.
With
real
who?
quick.
Fucking a body bag at this point? Anything.
Oh, they used one already.
A pair of fake titties
Wrong
at this
fucking
point.
segment.
Like, who cares? It could be a fake ass at this point. Who cares?
You
I'd
don't
rather
watch.
take fake boobs.
I just.
I don't like fake boobs, but I'll take
I
them.
just.
Sure you don't.
What?
All right.
I don't like. I like
the
real boobs.
fuck is this John Moxley group still doing?
I don't know, man.
He's-
In fact, you know what's funny? I am now trolling all the sickos and diehards because
On
every
fucking Dynamite, and we're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
On Dynamite, he did a babyface thing
Yep.
by going to help Chris Statlander
Uh-huh.
by threatening the Bucks in their locker room.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. What?
Why
the
do they
hell
fucking exist?
Dude, all I gotta say is, you
To-
know what?
cause us headaches?
You know what the best troll thing you can do to a diehard right now is every time that they defend an angle to you, just comment Death Riders. They won't answer you back because they know it's shit. They can't defend the Death Riders. They will talk about anything else on this show that is active. They're like, that angle's great. That match was great. Look at that. I'm like, Death Riders? That's that.
No comment.
It is the most fucking okay. It is officially levels of bad I've never seen in the wrestling business. Because Jesse, there's not even a professional booker to be like, guys, we gotta fucking do something. Like, we gotta fucking just. If you're gonna keep the group together, fine. But let's find something else. They're doing the same shit. There's just not a word. You know what? Fuck it. I'm a wrestler on the show. I'm gonna walk up to John Moxley. You got something to say? Yeah. I'm going to go interview with your wife who conveniently ignores the fact that for some strange reason she won't do your fucking laundry and give you a fucking shirt.
He don't want a shirt.
Number 2, you got these 4 fucking losers. 2 of them used to be worth something. This one needs a fucking shave. And, do I know you? We all know who I'm talking about. And then I'll look at him and say, dude, just go away and go lose another fucking amateur jiu-jitsu tournament and leave us the fuck alone. You know what he's gonna do? Nothing!
He's not going to be like Jericho.
Because he doesn't know
away.
what else to do other than his stupid shit.
He'll pout. That's what he'll do. That's what his character does. He pouts. Yeah, I can't stand
Go
this
away
shit
like Chris
anymore.
Jericho for a while and play with yourself and then come back.
Well, now we'll get to that. Hey, Jesse, apparently it wasn't a 10-year deal.
Because Jericho's basically might be on his way back to WWE by the Rumble.
And I saw that. I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I thought that where was this 10 years? It hasn't been that long.
Which is weird to me because I thought Dave confirmed 10 years.
Didn't
it's funny.
Jericho say 10 years? Or was it Dave?
Someone said 10 years. We
I don't remember who.
Jericho's the one.
Jericho,
Jericho's, yeah, he did say it, I thought.
Brian Alvarez,
Yep.
Dave Meltzer,
Yep.
Tony Khan.
They all said.
So how long has it
years.
been? 7 years?
3.
So
The company's not been around that
No, wait a minute,
long.
5 years.
So somebody had an opt out.
So it was a 5-year
Somebody,
contract with a,
somebody realized that Mr. fucking Moneybags is liking his newer toys over his older toys.
Somebody had an opt out.
So it was a 5-year contract with a 5-year outfit?
It was probably a year-to-year contract with a
Leroy,
year-to-year out.
Leroy,
okay.
Leroy, let me be very clear.
I
Let me be
I
very
actually
clear.
respect Jericho less now.
Let me be very clear. Leroy, quick
When
question.
did you respect him?
Leroy, hold on. Leroy,
Yeah, okay,
Leroy,
all right,
quick
all right.
question.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you this question, and I want you to answer as honestly as you now know information.
Yes.
What contract did Sam Darnold get from the Seattle Seahawks? What's his contract?
4 years.
I think 3 to 4 years, I think it
Well,
was.
It's 3
I don't
years
remember
guaranteed,
exactly.
Four with an
That- that-
out.
that- 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 It is a 3-year, $100 million deal. However, if you look at the actual wording of the contract, only
Yeah.
the first year is guaranteed.
Correct.
The other 2 are option years.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's a 3-year deal. 1 year is a team option. 1 year is a player option.
because they are
Chris
looking
J-
at what he did last year and hoping that he does it the same again this year.
Incorrect. They are going to be drafting a young quarterback at some point. They're already looking.
Oh, yeah.
So they're ready to move on. Jericho signed that style deal in that, Jesse, is there a 10-year lifespan to it? Yes, but only if somebody agrees to that 10 years. So either Tony's done or Chris is like, oh, wait, Punk fell out of favor with him. This guy stopped talking to him. That guy stopped talking to him. That guy no longer wants to have a conversation with him.
Can we find the call logs of Tony Khan and see how many times Chris Jericho has called him or send him a message?
Nah.
Because if we get that, then we know.
We'll just
No.
talk about it once he's gone.
No.
We just talk about
The brilliance of Jericho
He'll
is
just talk shit once he's out of there.
he'll talk
Well,
all
yeah.
the shit in the world, and he'll forget about all the shit he said about.
What I don't understand about these guys is, just, they said everyone said I had a 10-year contract, but I never said I had a 10-year contract, and we're all gonna go find the clip.
But
and we're gonna fucking post it to a show. That's AI.
I
And
have a
just
question for you.
Okay, so just like your wife, you're full of shit.
And anybody else
Cool,
that's watching. Okay, guys. Do we want Jericho back next year at the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Just put him. He has to go to the Hall.
Leroy,
He
two
has
things.
to go
I'm
to the
just asking.
WWE
Two
Hall of
reasons.
Fame.
Okay.
Yes.
Number one, that. And number two, because every single sicko will then come out and say, we never needed him. He was no good for us.
I
You
know.
know what the backlash
But
is going to
They
be.
do it all the time, though.
You know what the backlash is going to
They
be.
did it to a 26-year-old Mariah May. They do it all the fucking time.
So,
Oh, hold on. Because I had a conversation about this. She said, I don't want to re-sign. Tony offered her, and she wanted to explore other opportunities. That doesn't give you guys the right to still shit on a woman who was all about you for 3 fucking years. You don't get the right. No, seriously, I'm mad about this. You don't get the right to shit on somebody who, Jesse, how many?
I agree.
Your favorite fucking sports team offers somebody a contract 3 fucking times. They turn it down 3 fucking times. They sign on the 4th. Like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll be the first person to say it. I'm glad the Twins fucking offed Carlos Correa. He didn't want to be here in the fucking first place. We were his 3rd fucking option. Don't fucking act like Carlos Correa ever wanted to be a Minnesota Twin. Good fucking riddance, you fucking piece of shit. You've been playing pretty damn well since you got back to Houston. So
Yep.
fuck you, asshole. You never wanted to be here in the first place. Let me explain how this shit works. Somebody took the only offer in town. That was you. Jesse, I'm not even making fun of it, but at this point in certain guys' careers, the Jets are the only option for certain guys.
Or the Browns.
Or the Lions.
Or the Lions.
The Lions are good now. We have to be
They're actually
careful.
doing pretty
The
good.
Lions are allowed to have standards right now. But anyway,
The
Did you say
Jaguars.
they're allowed to have standards because they bested you guys by 1/2 a game. Technically, they swept you guys, but
Their time is coming.
But because they
they might
but it's
suck
the
again.
NFL. Things can change in a dime. I'm saying right now they're allowed to have standards. But what I'm saying is that Jesse,
Half the roster is injured. and they
Jesse,
suck.
all she said, Jesse, I'm not saying Tony didn't offer her a deal.
Yeah.
Of course she was offered a deal. Now, I did put a comment out that said they never offered her a new deal. I wasn't kidding. They offered her a deal. Then she decided to say, let me go see what this is. She never said no. She said, let me go say what this is. And then you guys fucking ghosted her and made her think she wasn't good enough. All this is proven. When I say they didn't offer her a new deal, apparently Tony Khan doesn't know what negotiations are. It's only
No, he don't.
It's only I can outspend you, so therefore the negotiations, Tony, aren't you offer money, someone accepts, you move on. It's you offer money, somebody comes back to you with a counteroffer. Mariah May, simply put, wanted to jump on a momentum that she just built and see maybe they finally want to give me a shot. Right. Maybe I finally did enough. Stephanie Vaquer did it. Oh, she was no good. Sure, whatever. Pretend like Mercedes didn't have her best match of this weird fucking AEW run with Stephanie Vaquer.
Stephanie Vaquer went to that party and was like, look at these fucking losers. I'm out of here.
You want to know the funniest part? You want to know the
Thank
funniest part?
God.
Do you remember after WrestleMania when all the girls were on a party bus in WWE and Stephanie was enjoying herself? I'm like, funny. Maybe after the professionalism, we can still have a little bit of fun.
Because she went to that party. She was like, man, fuck these niggas, bro. you think I'm a side with y'all? Hey, Sean, how much were you offering, cuz?
But Jesse, now the difference though is that Mariah May legitimately did what any independent contractor does. They went and looked at options. It's not her fault that Tony Khan said, "You don't want to sign with me right away without talking to anyone else?"
Right.
Jesse, that's what bothers me about these people. Guys, We all know Chris is a totally entity unto himself because he's put all this shit out there.
Right.
But Mariah didn't do anything negative.
No.
She didn't fuck with anybody. She simply said, okay, this is the offer on the table from Tony Khan. Let's go see what WWE wants.
Shit, Ricky Starks didn't even get that.
You're right.
He was just forced to sit on the fucking sidelines.
And by the way,
He's
Jesse.
having fun at home. Not.
And by the way, Jesse, it's come up for the 15th fucking time.
By the way, Keith Lee is healthy.
I was literally about to say.
Keith Lee is 100%. Keith Lee put out a video of him doing a fucking moonsault in the ring the other day.
2.5 years he's been off TV. Maybe Keith Lee. Follow me, diehards. Follow me, because I know you. I know you watch. I know you listen. I know you do. Follow me for a second. Maybe Keith Lee 2.5 years ago had this weird thought. You know, they're treating my wife pretty well over there.
Right.
She's getting a lot of screen time, getting a lot of opportunity.
It's Triple H, it's not Vince.
Working with Tony,
Right.
working with Chelsea Green.
Right.
That's a big deal.
Right.
Chelsea brings a lot of eyeballs.
Right.
You know, maybe let's go back. I'm healthy. I'm good to go. And then Tony turns around and gets wind of it because, yeah, WWE's got the leak in the thing. Triple H has all these spies all throughout everything. No, that's Tony. Because now, here's another thing.
He's afraid.
Jesse, how dare the WWE add injury time to a man's contract? Oh, wait, that was AEW with Danhausen.
Uh-huh. Didn't they re-sign him, too?
No.
He's not re-signed. They just added contract?
He has not taken their deal, but they've added time.
They added his injury time. So now he is
He's
Ricky
stuck.
Starks.
He's stuck.
Because guess what happened? Tony Khan got wind. Oh, The Rock likes Danhausen.
Mm-hmm.
Danhausen might have some of Danhausen's people might have talked to Nick Khan. Because, by the way, he's allowed to talk to his people. He's not allowed to talk to Danhausen.
Hey,
true.
hey, Jerry Jones. That's how it's supposed to work.
Negotiation with agents work.
That's how it works. You can't
yeah.
always talk to the talent, but you can always talk to their representation.
And now he's being forced to sit at home. And then some people wanted to throw that back at SRS, and SRS was like, no. We gave WWE all the shit in the world for what they did to Dakota Kai. They fucking deserved it.
I saw it.
Everybody gave them shit.
Yep.
Probably one of the reasons they stopped doing the thing because fans were like, yo, what the fuck was that with Dakota Kai? And Triple H couldn't answer them.
Yep.
So, so WWE caught shit for that. But when it's
we also never defended it.
No,
I
no
was
one
never
defended
a fan of Vince doing that shit. Let them go. Let them rehab. Let them do spot shows and get paid.
I said it. Now, here was the thing.
Oh.
Now, we learned about certain wrestlers on why they ended up staying under contract even though they were injured.
Yeah.
And I give and for the certain wrestlers, Maria Kanellis' husband.
Yeah.
Because
Rehab.
Because Stephanie, out the kindness of her heart, was like, I'm going to fucking take care of you.
Yeah.
Because you seem to want to do better for your family.
How did the kids turn out the way they did?
God, I don't know, but God bless Jesus Christ for that. I don't know.
That makes me believe in a God that those two kids
how Shane and Stephanie turned out so decent with their parents. Fuck. Anyway,
they learned from seeing their parents going, what?
But
they're
we
just decent people.
Don't let me be like that.
We fucking ripped the WWE for saying, we got you 9 more months. What do you mean? You haven't used me? We got you 9 more months. Sit at home. Collect your little check.
I've actually applauded Nick Khan for
changing that policy.
Here's the thing. We're not going to use you, Shayna, as a talent. What do you want? She just talked about this on her thing. We're not going to use you as a talent.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to offer you something because I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
They told her we can hire you on as a coach.
Yep.
But it depends on what you feel like you have left in your career. She was like, I fucking appreciated that.
Yeah.
Because at least he was honest. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. We're not going to use you as a talent.
Yeah.
We're not going to let Triple H use you as a talent. Okay. All right, then you know what? I'm going to go do some indie shit for a while. But I would like to still maybe do the coaching shit. That's why she's still allowed to go into the building and all that when she's down there.
Right.
Because at least he's been on. Business is fucking tough. But like I said in I thought Moneyball, they put it the perfect way when Brad Pitt was just like, listen, I have to cut these guys clean. It's a lot better to not get too personal with them when I know I'm the person that have to send them somewhere else.
I actually liked how they portrayed it, and they didn't over Hollywood it when the players got cut. A lot of the players were just like, okay.
It sucks, but it's business. I get it. Who do I got to call?
David Justice shows up, and yeah, in the movie they portrayed him a little wrong, but like David Justice had played for the Yankees. You don't think David Justice didn't watch George Steinbrenner cut half that team every year that David Justice was there and yada. Like,
and really that whole interaction was just, and maybe it was played up a little bit for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Probably was, but that whole situation apparently was based off of a conversation he had with the original guy.
Yeah.
The original Billy.
Yeah.
Which was just like, listen, you think I'm paying you this much. I'm not paying you that much.
No.
The Yankees are paying 80% of your salary to play against them.
That's what they think of you.
They don't give a fuck about you.
No. But that's the thing.
Yep.
It's very funny to me. I always look at situations and I hear the talking heads. By the way, folks, stop complaining that sports media is nothing but talking heads now. The ratings clearly show. If Stephen A. wasn't bringing in ratings, he wouldn't be making $100 million.
I'm about to say he wouldn't be making $100 million. So like, I don't get it. They're all talking heads. Yeah, but people watch it. So like, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we are where we are.
Sorry that 100,000 people on Twitter don't like something that 100 million people are watching.
Well, to be fair, Denzel Washington, like, calling him a piece of shit was kind of funny.
It was hilarious.
I love Denzel Washington too much.
But anyway, no, but no, it's
So
like,
do I.
but no, it's like, guys, I understand what the talk, but like all the talking heads are out there, Jesse, and they're saying players, it's all about the guaranteed money, the injuries, this and that. I don't know why more GMs don't go to certain players and say, look, I still got to put a full roster on the fucking team. So what if I give you 20 million less and you get 20 million more guaranteed on the number we've already talked about?
Here's how I know
it would probably work.
Here's how I know that has happened, because Tom Brady did it for the last 12 years in New England before he left.
Yeah. His money was guaranteed.
Like, the owner basically went to him, listen, Bill's not going to do it. We're under a pretty tight strap of a cap.
Yep.
We know you got your deals. We can pay you on some back ends.
Yep.
That's not against the cap to make up for what we don't pay you on the cap.
Yeah.
Are you cool with that?
And the reason why Tom will always be the GOAT, in my opinion, is because, Jesse, he put his own personal pride and ego aside, which a lot of football players can't do. A lot of football players
That's
think like Shannon Sharp, which, again, I'm not faulting Shannon. He came from a rough place. He earned everything he got. He deserved a gold jacket. But sometimes having to prove you were this or that at the expense of a little money, I can't agree with that. I can't get down with that.
At the time, of course, he was married to the wealthiest model in the world, so he could take the hit, right?
Right.
But Tom is more than made up for that money tenfold.
Tom got a job at Fox just to buy into the Raiders.
So it's
Yeah, that's about
He's
right.
a fucking genius.
He ain't dumb.
The two things I have learned about the way business is done between these two companies, I appreciate that Killer Cross, that Kevin was just like, listen, I don't like that the corporate wall was put up between us, but I told Triple H, you have my number. At any point in the future, we can talk. That was when he was on, what's the name, show?
Ariel Helwani.
And when I watched that, I went, so the door isn't closed.
No.
Clearly, they were having decent talks. Triple H tried to get involved in the talks to try to make it work. The corporation put the wall up like, nah, you can't go to him anymore. And then that was the end.
Yeah.
Right? Him, when they didn't want to offer his wife a contract, he was like, I can't do that. Right? That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I get one and she doesn't. Right?
Right. Yeah.
So I have a feeling at some point they will come back to a circle 6 months down the line, whenever, right?
Yeah.
But the other company,
Yes.
would rather fucking shout you out for fucking a year.
9 months, I heard.
Let your shit expire, and let everyone think, oh, he wasn't around because he was hurt.
Jesse, the biggest
The
thing.
fuck?
The biggest thing the diehards want to fucking not acknowledge is
Because the guy can't do confrontation. That's basically Tony. He can't do confrontation.
See, the diehards want to pretend like reports about.
Just real quick, before I let you finish, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think Shad was that happy to have to sit Urban Meyer down and be like, "You're a fuck up and you're fired"?
No.
He invested a lot of money into Urban Meyer.
Urban made a lot of money off Jacksonville, even though they fired him. Remember, coaches' contracts are fully guaranteed.
So he still had to pay him. But he sat him down in the office after his bitch ass flew back from Ohio. He's like, I cannot do this with you
not only
anymore.
that, but let's also think about this. Urban Meyer, for whatever that's worth, he went right back to Fox. He was on the next fucking college
basically,
season.
almost like a fuck you to Shad.
Yes!
So Shad basically was like, I will eat this money, but you're fucking fired. That's not easy for a billionaire because you had to pay him like $100 million.
There is over $1.7 billion being paid to coaches from teams they're not on.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Fuck.
That's real.
I know. I'd love to get a piece of that.
All you got to do is convince a fucking shitty team that I deserve a chance to turn your franchise around. They give you a 3-year deal. You suck after one so bad that they need to find a scapegoat. They fire you and you're still getting paid.
Poor Shad saw everything that he had done in college and thought, okay, well, to be fair, the Belichick coaching tree kind of came from this. These guys learned this way. He's actually kind of from that tree a little bit and from the Belichick tree.
Yeah.
I guess if I give him a little bit of power, this could work. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work out. But guess what? At least when it was time to cut the cord, a businessman goes, fucking cut it.
Yep.
I'll bleed a little bit, but we're cutting it.
Yep.
And give WWE, like I said, it's not easy. It sucks. Listening to Sonya on her podcast, listen, it was not easy to hear. We'd rather have you as a coach than the talent. That hurt to hear.
You know what? You know what's really interesting? Because I recently saw a TikTok on this, and it's something that the average person doesn't know. Right now, Leroy, Jesse, and I, we all technically work in one state or the other.
Correct.
We pay taxes in one state. Okay?
Thank God, yes.
Right. Do people not realize that if you're a pro athlete and you sit there and you say, spoiled brats fighting over an extra $5 million, Jesse, how much does an agent make?
Depending on the contract, it could be $5 million.
How much does a trainer make for a pro athlete?
Could be close to $1 million.
Do they not also realize that these players will play in arguably 7 different states over the course of a year?
Correct.
And they have to pay taxes in every single state?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, Texas has no income tax. Yeah, but they got to play in 9 states that do.
Yeah.
So guess what? Sometimes that $5 million, that's a big fucking deal because that covers this bill or that bill or that. Yes, some of them overspend. I get it. I'm not going to pretend like they're on the same level. But at the end of the day, the percentages do actually match based on what you're doing.
Right.
So you kind of have to. So, like, imagine all that. Imagine. I tell people this all the time. When you want to rip a pro athlete, okay, cool. I'm a pro athlete. Cut me. Cut me.
You're cut.
By the way, you hold on. Okay, cool. Well, okay, cool. Let's play this game. Okay,
All
cool. All right. Okay, so Leroy just thinks it's that easy. Okay, cool. Thanks for playing the play. You've met my 4 kids.
Yep.
You've had dinner with my wife.
Yep.
You met my mom.
Yep.
Thanks for making sure that I can pay for my friends to go to college and get them out of the ghetto, get them out of the tough life.
Okay.
You're doing it as a joke,
Yes.
but in real life, that's a daily thing.
Oh, yeah.
You don't mind if I show you?
Sure. Go for it.
Leroy, I love you. We've known each other since 2020.
Yeah.
I'm letting you go out the podcast, brother. I know we're finally making money, but this did not work out. You're gonna have to talk with Kathy, but yeah, I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna use her actual name. I'm trying to think of a fake name. I'm gonna have Susan drop the paperwork, and that's how we got to do it, buddy. We'll figure out how you're going to make your extra cuts from your partial ownership, but we got to get you off the air.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a tough
That's
one.
how it goes.
Yeah.
That shit's tough,
and
man.
that's what Tony Khan avoids every single day.
Because in that moment, you're probably ready to choke me the fuck out.
Tony does.
Because that was a
Tony,
scene.
am I getting
remember, that was the
used?
scene in Little Big League when he had to cut Jerry, his favorite player, and he told him, "I wouldn't trade your baseball card." And the guy goes, "So my wife's gonna be okay because the owner likes my baseball card."
It's a tough thing to fire somebody. I've
Tony
had
Khan
to do it.
Tony Khan is you call him and it's like, hey, Tony.
No, Tony doesn't do anything. He just avoids you.
Oh, no.
avoids
You
you,
call him and you leave voice. Tony, this is like the third call. Just wondering when I'm gonna hear back from you.
Meanwhile, it's the same
2 months
guy
later.
that when you're in his good favor, he just wants to be your best friend. He wants to smoke with you. He wants to have dinner with you.
You text him, you don't get a
Tony's
message
sitting
back.
there jumping up and down with you at the success and all this other stuff. But the second you show interest in something else, because here's the deal. We can give Chris all the shit that he rightfully deserves, and I still feel the way that I do. He's ruined his legacy. I am fucking on that train.
So am I.
But guess what? Jesse's right. The legacy still is he has to go get in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
He has to. And
He will get there. Yeah, I totally agree.
And Chris turned around.
Just like Daniel Bryan is going to go. So all this anti-WWE
eventually.
shit will not last too long.
Yeah, it's not going to last too much longer once Tony is done playing with that toy.
Correct.
And by the way, Tony, let me break this news for you. That toy is already somewhat broken. You can't play with it that much longer.
Nope.
So I hope that's not a fucking thing you're hoping on.
People don't understand, like...
But Danhausen is literally sitting there, and everyone's like, he's getting paid to do nothing. And yes, on the show many times, we've sat around and said that, hey, that would be nice. But at the same time, we also say that from the perspective of that's what we would do. We're not Jesse, right now, we watch not the fan accounts. Right. We watch the personal accounts of how many fucking people in this business, the grind that they put on, the things that they go through, and the tears that they're putting on those personal accounts of their biggest fucking moments. And you know what's funny? Those moments are happening in a rec center.
Right.
Can you imagine them being told, just sit at home and collect the check? Jesse, I'm not going to give away the name because we obviously have a lot of business going on with that person, but I'm just going to use this. Wasn't born in this country, came here, didn't speak the language, had to go through all that.
Right.
And now he's one of the biggest stars in a region of wrestling. Everybody wants him. He finally broke through that mold that a lot of people we knew, they weren't criticizing him negatively. They were just saying this is what he needs to move forward.
Right.
He finally found it. He finally did it. That's the American dream.
Correct.
Okay, now sit at home and just collect the check.
Collect the check, yeah. Yeah, no, it's... And the reason why, like, even SRS says, like, listen, a pro athlete would rather get cut because you would rather move on to your next opportunity.
Well,
yes.
Well, Jesse, see, that's the thing. A lot of times players will sit there and they'll say, okay, I know I'm not making the 53-man roster. Can you explore a trade? Because there's two things when you trade a guy. Number one, guaranteed, thing.
At least minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
Right?
Yeah,
at least minimum.
But number two, there's that pride of, I didn't just get cut.
Right.
But then there are players who, Jesse, I think Micah would take a cut tomorrow. Because then it doesn't benefit Jerry, and he gets the pick of where he wants to go.
People forget Peyton would have welcomed a cut when they were basically holding on to him
while he was hurt
in Indianapolis when he was hurt.
And then they finally worked out that deal to trade him to he did get cut, but the problem is what you're referring to is Jim being the impulsive guy that he was. He held on to Peyton a little too long.
He did trade him finally, but it was just like. No, he caught him. Yeah, he caught him, but it was just like...
he wasn't traded.
But it was just like...
But it took a lot to cut.
It took a lot for you to do it when any other player, you could have cut and not hurt anything. And you could have did Peyton the same way. And you knew Peyton didn't want to come back there. You knew it. So Danhausen, just have some patience, brother. And that's why he's doing the videos with CM Punk.
Oh, that was awesome.
But hey, remember, the big bad company are the ones who they go behind everyone's back. Guys, your comments work if Vince was in charge.
Right.
Vince could play any game he wanted because Leroy, again, I'm sorry, he was God.
In the WWE.
He was God to these people. He was the God, the judge, the jury, the executioner. He wrote your life. He owned you. He did.
Right.
But now that you have a new regime, there are guys in Vince's place, but it's not the guy you keep saying is doing all these things.
Correct.
Triple H has a lot to be criticized for. There's some bad booking. There's some terrible answers to questions.
Yeah, some awful answers to questions.
But the
truly
shit,
fucking awful.
But the shit with Karrion Kross, that's not a Triple H folly.
The way it's gone down, it's not Triple H's fault. No.
No.
But again, Karrion Kross pretty much said through everything that went on, I pretty much knew where this was going. Shayna Baszler got told to her face, here's what we want you as. Sorry, if you have other aspirations, we can work something out. Okay, that sounds a lot like a company not run by Vince McMahon. Oh, wait, this company isn't run by Vince McMahon.
No.
Meanwhile, the other company is...
Remember, Samoa Joe went down to NXT to be a coach.
Yeah.
Because Vince is going to cut him.
Yeah.
And Triple H was like, wait, no. I can use him. I can use him. Don't cut him. Put him under me, and I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And that's why Samoa Joe is always so appreciative. He might take the funny shots every now and then, but when he gets into interviews, he's so appreciative of Paul Levesque. Because it was just like, listen, Vince could have basically been like, I'm done with him, and that would have been it. I would have been on the street hurt.
You know the wrestler who actually did get told the same thing Shayna did and then used that as fuel to go sign somewhere else? That was Eddie Kingston.
Correct.
Now, Eddie's been a little up and down, in my opinion, based on a lot of things, because I think there's a lot of ways that I can look at Eddie and say, I think you've done a lot more harm to your career than, you want to admit on a personal level. Because, Eddie's taken a lot of pot shots that, were, beneath him.
That's the other thing about AEW, right?
It gives wrestlers a license to take pot shots.
It's not even that. That to the side. That to the side.
But hold on.
You're still recovering from this fucking...
Are you denying it, though? Are you denying that they don't give you sort of this, freedom to take pot shots?
Well, yeah, but we all watched the goddamn press conference. That was going to continue.
Yeah.
That's why, they took the shot before they ever had the press conference. Yeah, because the Bucks took shots before then. So how far back do you guys want to keep going with who took the first shots?
We made $1 million without WWE, and everything you ever did that made you that $1 million was WWE related.
Yeah.
We've chronicled that and put that to bed on our show, because anyone out there right now who keeps using that line to me, they made $1 million without WWE, doing nothing but anti-WWE propaganda the entire fucking time they made that $1 million. Okay, sure.
Made it through because of the cease and desist shit from WWE, which WWE should have never done in the first fucking place. But when you did that like a bunch of idiots, yeah, you made them more money.
You know what's funny? What you just said is actually my fix to the WNBA's problem. The WNBA is like, we're going to consider no fans to avoid these dildos being thrown on the court. And I'm like, hey, guys, what's the total amount of time that the game has been stopped for this?
Hey, you mean your attendance like fucking 5 years ago?
But on a serious note, if I'm the WNBA commissioner, because she's a fucking moron. No, Jesse, how long have the games really been affected by this protesting? About 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. You have every right in your little bag of tricks to take these people and charge them with assault, because it's a felony.
Correct.
So you know what you do? Don't be the morons who are going to keep the payers out. Don't be the idiots who are giving in by removing the fans. You know what you do? Let them do their thing. And here's how you acknowledge it. Hey, they were taken out by security. Guess who met them outside? Their ride is to the police station. Wait, why are the cops here? Oh, yeah, just so you know. That's assault in this state. And Jesse, when 4 or 5 people get real felonies on their records, I'm pretty sure it'll fucking stop.
Right.
It should.
If you're WWE, if you just had let the Bucks do their little thing like you had a bunch of other people, don't think they would have made that much money because they would have just fallen into the place of everybody else. The Bucks became the groundswell for the anti-WWE crowd because they got the cease and desist, because everyone said, Jesse, they're our guys because WWE's so afraid of them. Look at this. That's what happened.
I know.
Made a million without WWE. Take away that cease and desist. How much money did you really make, boys?
Nothing.
I mean, there's two companies here, and much like the way politics gets skewed, one side is doing all this stuff, but they're revered for it, Jesse. There's a way to spin everything they do. But the other side is doing the nice part. Oh, well, they're still the evil guys who used to do this. I'm like, dude, at this point, the fact that wrestling fans are still living in 2013 is the most fucking annoying part about wrestling.
Yeah.
But you know,
Speaking of,
if we get through that stuff, we should. I think we should pause a moment to get people, after we're talking about and talk to one of our great sponsors at BetterHelp.com.
Whilst I appreciate Leroy doing the BetterHelp ad there, you once again ruined my opportunity, because now I got to get really sentimental, and Jesse's not going to like it, and BetterHelp would have been better here. But you know what? You put it there. Well, so here we go. Jesse, as of today, it's been 2 years. I've been told the real truth of what this statement means. It is the heavenly birthday of one Wyndham Rotunda. 2 years gone.
Has it been that long?
It's been 2 years.
Wow.
And I would probably hazard to say not a bigger impact has been left 2 years after their passing, maybe more than that guy in the wrestling business. There's still tributes to him. There's still people, masks, everything, love and respect to him. I mean, what a legacy. Yeah. 2 years. And it's almost like yesterday was the day we found out.
It's even more than when Eddie Guerrero passed. It was there for a little bit, but I don't know about 2 years. Close.
So recently,
because he had a big impact.
Out of the words of someone I never would have fucking expected, Luke Gallows had talked about their last stint in WWE, why they went back. And he was like, well, one of the reasons we went back, not just because of the awesome money they offered us, regardless if we were going to be using that.
They're the Good Brothers. They're going to mention the money.
Correct.
Never change, guys. Never change.
Was the fact that the locker room was so much better than when I was last there, because there was a lot of old heads who competed with each other. It was toxic. It was miserable. Because remember, he was there as Fake Kane for a while in his younger days.
Yep.
And by the way, he's actually a little taller than Glenn Jacobs, which is fucking wild to think about. And he was like, I remember when I went back, and the two locker room leaders, he was like, they don't talk about it much, but the two locker room leaders were Roman Reigns and it was Bray Wyatt. Roman was kind of the big brother, the kind of stricter big brother, but the big brother trying to, he protected everyone from Papa, from Papa Vince, right? He was like, but then there was the fun uncle that you could be having a really shit day. Vince is just in your fucking ear, but you heard the laugh as he's walking down the hallway, and you felt that big arm around your shoulder. And it was like the world was lifted, because he always had something super positive to say. He was always going to make you laugh. He always ended it with a nice little peck on the forehead. It was always, bro, it's going to be a better tomorrow, and I love you. And he was saying, he was like, I think about that a lot. He's like, since his passing, because he's like, there's still good locker room leaders in WWE. He's like, don't get it twisted. Roman, he's like, AJ's picked up the ball a lot. He's like, Cody's a great guy there. Charlotte for the ladies, because he was really positive about Charlotte. He was like, Charlotte is mother hen to that locker room. He's like, her, some of the big stars sometimes butt heads, but that's mother hen. She protects the ladies in the locker room. Though, are they going to have their tiffs like she did with Tiffany? Sure.
And by the way, according to Unreal, that seemed to be squashed really quick.
I was gonna say, what I noticed from that whole thing was Charlotte forgave it, whether or not Tiffany went and talked to her or not. So good on Charlotte for being
professional
Well,
about it. Yeah.
I think as good as Triple H is nipping that in the butt, say we got to take care of this.
Well,
right
but
now.
what he's saying is that, and I got the same sentiment. It seemed like she, pretty much from day one, or as soon as the curtain got pulled and the lights were off, she seemed to just move on from it.
Yeah.
She seemed to not have an issue with it from the start.
And I think
In the moment, I think anybody would have a reaction.
Oh yeah.
But she seemed to move on pretty quick.
I think she has learned over the years,
right.
and evolved
but
to
anyway,
where she is now.
But anyway,
so, yeah.
But anyway, back to your point.
So, and what he was getting at, because we were close. This was a couple of days ago. I guess he did that interview. And
Yeah.
we were closing on this date.
Yeah.
He was just like, there still has to be a massive hole. He's like, regardless of Bo there or not, because he's like, Bo is such a great guy.
Well, you look at how much he revered his brother.
But what he was saying was like, Bo was by his brother's side most of the time.
Yeah.
But Bo was usually to himself. That he's like, I cannot imagine how that family tries to get through every day without that massive presence. And then really quick, it was asked of Roman Reigns, because we're now at the date. And Roman said he tried not to get choked up. He was like, every day I miss my big brother's laughter. He's like, and I'm not talking about my brother Rosie. He's like, I'm talking about Bray. He's like, I miss hearing that laughter as I came through the halls.
It's times like this where when I think about him, I'm not ever going to pretend that like I knew the guy, but I think about him and what he meant to that section of the wrestling business, and then I think about the people that we've come to know. And god damn, dude.
To give Swerve some credit, I mean, Swerve recently, it was just like, he's like, I think the reason I took my firing so hard initially was because he's like, I missed my big brother. He's like, I used to go to that dude for everything.
Right.
And he's like, Roman was always reachable. Seth was always reachable.
Yeah.
But he's like, the reason I went to Wyndham was it didn't matter what mood he was in, because he's like, I would walk in, maybe see him a little down and be like, fuck, I'm not going to bother him. And he would perk up. Hey, come here, man. Hey, come here. He's like, he was always so fucking loving. And he's just like, when I ran into JoJo, I just gave her the biggest hug and told her, like, I'm sorry for the kids.
Well, that's the other thing about that moment at All In. It was just like, guys, nobody was mad that JoJo did what she did. No one gave a shit.
No.
We were all happy about it.
Happy for an actual Bray Wyatt fan was fucking thrilled. For her.
Jesse, I think what makes Bray so difficult is we just lost Hulk.
Right.
But you want to know what death I compare it to? I compare it to Ozzy. And the reason I do that is because I didn't realize the impact of Wyndham Rotunda until I saw college football doing tributes.
Right.
Random ass celebrities. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm going to be honest with people, because he wasn't at that level yet, because he was ascending. Jesse, there were bands that were paying tribute to Ozzy, and I sat there and I was like, look, I get there's a lot of musicians that are closet metalheads, but they don't want their fans to know it because of that weird riff that metal has in the mainstream. But like, son of a bitch, they all love this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And when you look at Wyndham, Jesse, I guarantee you, everyone in the, not everyone, but a very large percentage of that stadium never met Wyndham, but they knew Bray.
Right.
And even though it was this eater of worlds, mostly heel character, they felt so connected with the guy.
Yeah.
Because, again, the amount of people who said goodbye to Ozzy and also met Ozzy in person is such a small number.
Right.
Such a minuscule amount. But when you watched the Osbournes, when you watched Ozzy's interactions, I always say realism will always translate no matter what. And I always said, when you watch Adam Copeland's documentary, and Adam said, I never introduced myself as Edge. It was always, hi, I'm Adam.
Right.
That told you this is sort of a different kind of person.
Right.
And I think that what we miss sometimes is not what it means to lose a talent, but what it means to lose a person.
And I think Bray's the remembrance of Bray is starting to affect how people are seeing John Cena too. I can tell because there's a lot of we really have to appreciate everything about him while he's with us. All the times he still does the stuff with the kids. He doesn't have to.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he makes times to go do all this charity work. He never announces. Like there's so much about John Cena. Yes, is there the Vince McMahon thing? There are a lot of people like, why with Vince? But also people have to tell those people every now and then, like, you got to remember that without Vince, he doesn't get the life he has.
Can you imagine going through life and your entire life is literally on paper because of one person?
Right.
And then that one person does something so heinous that the whole world cannot stand. It's why I don't care what anyone says. I don't give Michael Cole shit for what he said on Impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to agree with what Vince did, but he also does not need to say a single negative thing about the guy. But that doesn't mean see that's where people lose me. When they look at me and they're like, "Well, you're defending what someone did." I'm like, "When the fuck did I say that?"
Just because you're not saying anything about it doesn't mean you're defending it. And that's I really
I love you. I love my godson.
Yeah.
And I love, Big Willie down in Texas.
We love Willie down
The one
there.
thing you three
Miss
have in
him.
common, you guys are black.
True.
I don't agree with what Hulk Hogan did,
Right.
but can you understand the confusion that I have as a wrestling fan is why I felt a little bit sad that a racist died? I mean, there's levels to it.
Well, and when we talked about Hogan, that's why I mostly gave the floor to you and Leroy, especially Leroy, because I'm like, I understand what the man must have meant to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, he ruined the veil for me.
Yeah.
But, or he not really ruined. He really compromised because there was never really an apology, and that's what hurt the most. I
Sure.
think,
Yeah.
For most for us, but. Because Brandon Adonde put it perfectly. He was just like, if there was ever an actual apology from Terry about all that, in a real sense to really do some right, like, it would have been easy to forgive.
Well,
him,
that's
he's
why.
one of our heroes.
Well, that's why I have to tell Allison all the time. And by the way, she has every right to feel the way she does. I can't hate on Michael Vick because that guy reminded me of when the NFL was still fun.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That guy
yeah.
also reminds me of a video game where the character had no business being that good.
But the player was that good.
Every single person play. You're lying if you're telling me that when that Madden came out, you didn't play as Michael Vick.
Right.
You're fucking lying to me if you didn't
Right.
tell me that. But anyway, like you said, Michael has apologized. He didn't get out early. He got a much longer sentence than he needed to because he was a celebrity. That's one time they did kind of fuck somebody over for being a celebrity.
It is what it is.
Like everyone said, he only got 2 years. That charge is normally like 6 months.
Correct.
Uh-huh.
And I love animals, and maybe the charges should be worse for animal abusers, but like,
Yeah.
It was not usually 3 years.
Right. So anyway, but like you said, I have to appreciate Michael for the fact that he's done everything that he's done to make up for it.
Right.
And he's also still important to the game. Because, like, I say this all the time. You did it with Sterling Sharp. Michael Vick can't be a Hall of Famer?
Oh, sure he can be.
He can.
His impact on the game didn't mean something?
Listen, Brett, listen. And by the way, they can't keep waiting on Bray. They're going to put him in the Hall either this year or next year.
Yeah.
I really hope so.
We cannot keep waiting. Brett Favre's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Brett Favre might be the most unlikable former starting QB of all fucking time.
Yes.
He's done himself no favors.
He has done himself no favors post-career.
But I still have that Vikings poster of him for two reasons. Number one, it was a gift from my German brother who is now a huge Vikings fan because he came here as an exchange student. And number two, it pisses off every Packer fan. And I love that.
The only time in my life, my mom still has the photo, and I fucking hate her for it. But the only time I wore a Green Bay Packers helmet was because my uncle took me to a game and I watched him play. And I was like, I want to play football because he looks like he's having a damn great time out there. I don't like the Packers. But he got me that helmet because it had one of his signed things on it. It was one of those print stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Brett Favre. Because I used to think this dude's the greatest quarterback I've ever watched. This guy's the greatest athlete I've ever watched. Now, post-career, I'm like, woo, what a piece of shit. But
highly unlikable.
Not a likable motherfucker.
And I still say about, people still shitting on Hogan. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And the worst is a white kid that I work with, and if he listens to this, he knows what I'm talking about. He thinks you shouldn't look at Hogan as a hero. And I'm like, you know what, dude? This gentleman that I work with, this podcast, Jesse, he has an actual real gripe to say what Terry Bollea did. But as I reminded him, and as Jesse has said, if it wasn't for him and what he did at the beginning in the 80s of wrestling, we wouldn't have what we have.
Right.
Well, but like Jesse said,
and you respect me.
The one guy who said
for feeling that way, and I appreciate it.
Well, but like Jesse said, the one guy on Eric Bischoff's podcast, he goes, it's not even anger. It's probably sadness
and disappointment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Disappoint. It's just when you're disappointed, it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But Jesse, now on the flip side, here's a guy. I don't think a soul on this earth has a negative story about Wyndham Rotunda.
This death has always been sadness and frustration, because it was just like he was gonna finally have a chance. He had accomplished so much great stuff already, but he was back with one of his main creative partners, and actually, I think one of the guys that does his mask stuff, Jason Baker, just posted this.
Yeah,
like we were all so excited for him.
Yeah,
because it was Paul, and yeah, Paul could say no to him, but it wasn't like Vince.
I don't think Paul ever said no.
Paul, and Jason has said Paul would say no, but he would go, come back to me on why it works week to week.
But that's the thing, Jesse. I don't think we understand what we're saying.
Right.
I don't think he ever said no. I think what he said was veiled in a no.
Right.
What else do you think we can do? And how can we translate that idea?
As he once said in that interview, he was like, he has so many ideas that sometimes you have to be the guy he looks a little frustrated at but smiles at, where you go, okay, this is great, this is great, this is great. How do we get to each of these things? How do we make them make sense? Because you're a storyteller, you understand that.
My experience in my life, I understand how a lot of people feel about losing Bray. It reminds me of when my only grandma had left passed.
Yeah.
It has been a few years. It's been more than 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's like she was there. She was a big part of all of her kids. She had 7 kids.
Wow.
And a lot of 16 grandchildren.
Wow.
And she was a big part of all of our lives.
Right.
And when she is gone, it's like that big part is missing.
There's a hole.
There's a hole. And we fill it, all of us cousins that get together,
right.
we fill it with our love for each other.
Right.
And how much she taught us that we need to get together and we need to enjoy each other's company and our love for each other
Right.
and the good times we can have and the memories of playing cards with grandma. Go and have and people may sound this funny, doing shots with our grandma because she was
Right.
that awesome.
Right.
And that's what we did. The love and everything that we enjoyed with her, and then she taught us that we should keep doing it with everybody else.
And that's why
we do.
I think Triple H is so. That's why I'm like, I don't foresee them getting released because Triple H is so protective of the Wyatt Six, from my understanding, that if it comes up, he shuts it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will fucking quit. Like, it is like, let me handle all the Wyatt Six stuff. Because that is a apparently it must have been a promise he made to the family. Because he was like, I give him and Stephanie this. They're damn decent people.
Yeah.
They're like, when we make promises, we fucking keep them.
And not only that, I think the IWC needs to start understanding is Jesse. Wyndham Rotunda Bray Wyatt was like Ozzy in this sense. His art is not for everyone.
Sure.
But for the people that it's for, let them enjoy it.
Right. And here's the thing.
And that's why I think Triple H is protective. And he's
to
like,
give Bo a lot of to give Taylor a ton of credit.
I don't think Taylor is going to finish the Wyatt Six and then come back and do all and then do something.
Right.
I think his goal in life is to finish this,
right,
and then move on to the next chapter.
Yeah.
That's what he has said.
And you know
and
what?
It's going to be awesome.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with taking a little TV time
Right.
to let something like that happen. And the part that everyone misses in the IWC, going back to the beginning of the show where you guys don't want to look at it from this lens, Jesse, it's elevating 5 or 6 other people at the same damn time.
That was the whole point of his return. Which is why I think even Karrion has always been sad and Kevin has been and frustrated. His whole plan, and he told Triple H, I want to use what I've done, and we can do it through extra elevation, winning championships in the future, beating like Roman Reigns in the future, which was a part of their plan, him beating the Tribal Chief.
Oh yeah.
Beating whoever, Cody Rhodes in the future. So me and Alexa, because she wants to do it, elevate people behind us as we're on our last whims in this business.
And the
saddest
saddest part about that is sorry, Leroy, go ahead.
And it's her last one. Wyndham, he might go for a little bit more after he's done with Uncle Howdy, but also Eric Ronan. It's kind of his last run.
Well, the other thing about it
older.
is that I think the other problem that the IWC needs to also understand is that, Jesse, sometimes to elevate others, you need to be the star for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
that's the thing that people had about Alexa and Charlotte winning the tag titles, and I was just like, yeah, but guys, don't they need the titles in order to drop it to a team that matters?
Correct.
That is true.
Don't the Wyatt Six need to be the champions to grow the tag division? Which, by the way, grow a tag division that, Jesse, how many more times do you have to tell everyone it's the most healthy tag division in all of pro wrestling?
Since we're on Wyndham right now and Bray Wyatt, I mean, come on, the last 2 weeks of SmackDown. You got Nikki stalking the women's champion.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yep.
You got
She's a scary woman.
You got
Love it.
You got the tag team champion stalking the tag teams, and interestingly enough, you have Redbeard stalking Solo.
Uh-huh.
And interestingly enough, you have Uncle Howdy stalking Solo and keeping his eye on Drew McIntyre. I'm like, something big is about to happen here finally. And like I said, that's why I've been like, this. You can tell when one of the creative things is one of Triple H's babies, because it is protected.
Well, and one thing,
Like the Judgment Day.
yeah.
Clearly, that's when he's like, I don't know what Vince was going with it, but I love this.
And the other thing about it is that the difference between Hunter and Tony's booking is when Hunter places an Easter egg, it's there for a reason.
Correct.
And it is going to go somewhere.
Correct.
And that's the beauty of, and I'll bring up your not favorite band, obviously, but one of your favorite creative bands right now is people are now starting to see the life outside of Sleep Token that the guys have.
A little bit, yeah.
Between the Ozzy tribute show, between Three's band, Four's band. I will not use their names. Please stop asking me to say their names on the air. They've asked me not to through their art, and I will not do that. That is the only thing that I can give them that is fair. But Jesse, when you understand you're creative, you create a fandom that just gets it.
Right.
And I tell people, fine, you want to be that stupid little metalhead in the corner that says we don't view them as a metal band. You don't want the number one band in the world to be a metal band. Fine, whatever. You're a fucking twat for that. I'm not going to fight you on this. You want to be the little pop star that says, oh, that's too heavy, and how is that art? And I'm like, it's not for you.
Right.
It's for the people that get it.
Right.
And really, it's for the people that don't get it because they want to search it. They want to find it.
Right.
Let them tell their story. Let them do 1 or 2 more albums before they put this project to bed and then never talk about it again, but they made a world impact on somebody.
Right.
Let the Wyatt Six story be told. Let it happen. It's not like it's going to take this 6 people and make them the top stars.
Here's the crazy thing, right? Especially about people who could bitch about the Wyatt stuff. Has it ever hurt any TV you watch on WWE? No. Not at all. When they're there, it hasn't hurt it. When they're not there, it hasn't hurt it. It's actually only helped it. When I watch an arena, when they're there, people seem to lose their shit. They're happy that they showed up.
Well, now, okay, that's a topic I've been meaning to get to for a long time. And Leroy, where are we at time-wise?
250.
Perfect. So we'll do this real quick, and then we'll do Heat Wave on our way out.
Because it's going on right now.
Yep, exactly. So, but anyway, so number one, we'll get to this topic. Jesse, there is a very large disconnect between the IWC and the crowds in the arena.
Clearly.
Because everyone sits there and everyone talks about how this pay-per-view was shit, or that PLE was shit, or this or that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. When I watch an AEW pay-per-view, crowds are at certain points are kind of mid. They're kind of like, okay, this match is like I'm waiting for Lights Out, or I'm waiting for Hangman, or this or that. Why you wait for Hangman? That's your decision, but I'm not here to get into that too much.
Boo, Zach.
But anyway, but yet what's odd is that everyone's like, oh great, Io and Rhea all over again. People didn't seem to care in the arena. They didn't seem to care.
They seem to be tagging now, so I don't know what that bitching thing is about.
But all I'm saying is that Jesse, the IWC really doesn't back up the fact that wrestling is the ultimate form of, when you're there, you're just having a good time.
Correct.
And that's why I tell people, crowds make moments. That's why I give people who performed in the COVID era a lot of credit, because that's fucking hard.
Right.
But I mean, like, the one thing you guys don't get, you can't tell me it's a 5-star classic when 1,500 people barely fucking acknowledge the match.
Right.
Because the whole point of the match is for the live crowd. TV just adds to it. That's why I've always had problems with Dave giving 4s on Dynamite when I'm like, Dave, there were 800 people in this fucking tiny ass room and 200 of them gave a shit. And they weren't even all in the same section on the camera.
Right.
But then you turn around and you tell me this isn't a 4-star match, it's a 2.5 only because it's in WWE, which is the real thing you won't say. But I'm like, crowd loved it. They were into it. They were into the finish. They were counting along. So the disconnect of watching the match as a whole is where I think the sickos and the diehards really, truly, really only have egg on their own face. Is, okay, Jesse, you didn't like that match. Does that mean that the 700 people who are standing and applauding when the match is over in the crowd when you're at home on your couch, do you think they didn't like it?
Right. No, it's, you got to be able to, as a fan sometimes, especially when it comes to live stuff.
Yeah.
Because TV is one thing, right? You're watching on TV, everyone's going to have a different reaction.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to live things like sports and things like that, especially pro wrestling, I can watch a pro wrestling show, and maybe I didn't like it so much, but I'm not. The reason why I always sometimes shit on the IWC, which we are kind of a part of, is I just go, yeah, these absurd things like, fucking Jey Uso ruins this, and that. I'm like, not really. Every time he's in an arena, the crowd seems to absolutely fucking adore him.
We watched a match with a possum.
We did.
But you want to know what's funny?
We loved the shit out of it.
Well, not only that, but Jesse, we interacted with what he was doing, and all of a sudden the kids no longer really felt like, okay, what do I do? It's like, no, these big-ass dudes are interacting. It's okay for you to do it.
That's the other thing, right? So, like, I always try to enjoy a show from home as best as I can, like I would in the crowd. Now it's different, but like when I'm in the crowd, I'm like, money was paid for this, so I'm gonna have a good time, not a rowdy time. Like my dad used to always tell me, have a good time, not a rowdy time. Be a part of it in the way they feel like you need to be a part of it, and then remove yourself when you need to remove yourself.
It was clear that BZW coming to Duluth, that show was not your typical wrestling crowd.
Sure.
So you said to yourself, let me give Joey something to work with.
Right.
But you weren't the star.
No, it was Joey.
Because as soon as the match started and he and Sierra were doing their thing,
right.
all of a sudden, it's almost like you and Joey never had that interaction.
Right.
But the heat was still there.
Right.
Joey kept the heat going.
Right.
Now, he might have referred to you one or more times during the match.
Well, right.
But like you were no longer the focal point.
And I loved it too. And you know, DPW creator, Discover Pro creator, Eric kind of showed up to that show as well.
Yeah.
And he was just like, man, you're a lot of fun to be on a show with. I'm like, I keep telling you, come to wrestling shows with me because, like, one of the things I have always understood, do not step on what they do. But if you got to be the fan that gets everybody else into it, be the guy that's getting it. But don't be over, like, as the wrestlers interacting with you.
The best compliment you and I would probably ever have is to all of a sudden hear an interview with whoever. I don't care who it's with. But Vita Vaughn mentions these two fucking idiots just bowing.
Fucking bowing and chanting my name. But I would be like honored. You want to know why? Because I did that and it got fucking 40 other dudes to do it.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing to Sierra and it got like 100 other people to do it. Of course, we did it at NXT and it got like 50 to 100 other people to do it. So she's sitting there a little bit, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
You know.
Like, I want you to have a good time. I want, you know, like that's the whole point.
I would also tell her in person, we love you, but for what I paid for those tickets, I was going to have a little more fun because I paid for that shit.
And like I said, it's having fun. It's not having rowdy fun.
Well,
you're not trying to quote unquote take over the show. You're just having fun.
And by the way, did we mention anything about Sierra as soon as the bell rang for Underground?
Nope. We paid attention to the match. That's all it is. And people make it much more complicated than it needs to be. And like I said, the biggest thing between the IWC and live fans. And by the way, this is fair to AEW too.
Yeah.
Is just I'm like because you're not there. I don't think you're understanding where you might be disconnected from what they're enjoying is, right?
And that's why and that's why I'm glad you said disconnected. And that's why my criticism goes to AEW because guys, 1 week you will be in a wrestling history town and they're jumping up for joy for this match. But the next week you have the same people involved and that crowd is in a territory that didn't have wrestling for 50 years, 60 years. It's a different market. And they're all kind of about what's happening.
Right.
You're not working as the booker, as the wrestlers to get that crowd involved because you're just doing your shtick. But that's the problem with the IWC is you guys have to accept that people have to be culpable in this. Tony has to be culpable, just like the wrestlers have to be culpable. Right. Just like Tony needs to get the wrestlers out of the mindset of work like you didn't just do the same thing last week.
Right.
And that's the IWC. Like, pretend that you didn't watch last week is not always how I watch a show.
Right.
But when I'm live, you're right. I didn't see it the
Right.
previous week unless I'm at Raw or SmackDown
Right.
or Dynamite. But,
Right.
like, don't sit there and act like because the IWC, all of a sudden 60 people agree with your take. Don't pretend like that live crowd didn't make the match better, didn't enjoy themselves.
Right.
And back to your Kat Dennings take. Don't make other people dislike it because you don't agree with an opinion.
Right.
The criticism of AEW has always been, at this show, the lack of growth.
Right.
14K to 1.5K.
The fact that O'Shea Jackson still interacts with any of you, you guys should take as a fucking blessing. He stopped going to most of the shows because of them.
Yeah.
He loves a lot of the wrestlers in AEW.
Yeah.
But as he talks about on his podcast with TJ from the Richard Eisen show,
Yeah.
there was a snobby fucking attitude to it.
Which, by the way, Jesse, all those fans in
Which, by the way, real quick, stop comparing yourself to Gaijin fans, because all those Gaijin fans that showed up in Dallas for those 2 nights, I believe in 2022,
22, yeah.
ask New Japan, they were welcoming. There was, for those who had never been to a Japanese show, they were loving, happily telling people, oh, this is what this guy does, let me show you. Like, happy to educate so you would enjoy it.
We did that to the guys that had the booth next to us at NXT, because they were clearly just there for a guys' night out.
Right,
and that was fine. Cool,
But
whatever.
we were educating them as we went, and they were having a great fucking time because of that. Be welcoming as a fucking wrestling community. Like,
I think
And we're also going to have shirts made that we are
the group on the other side of us. We're interacting and enjoying that.
And we will also officially be making shirts at some point that we will only wear, not for you guys to sell, that basically say, we're the 13 card jackasses who will make ourselves look stupid so you don't feel so bad doing it yourself. You can enjoy yourself because we walked first. But anyway.
And my shirt must say, I am this many years old with a mathematical equation.
Like I've told people, if I'm at a show and the heel wrestler has to pour water on me for you guys to get into it and boo him and get the heat, I'll fucking happily do what he needs to get that water on me so he can get the heat, because that's going to be a better show for everybody.
Well, remember, I was attacked at a show.
Right.
The guy came back and straight up was apologizing to me, and I was just like, bro, did you not see the people out there react when it happened?
I've had wrestlers thrown on me.
We've had that happen. Yes.
Like, listen, like whatever it takes for people to be into the show and for the wrestlers to really have a good time telling their stories. Like, that's what it's supposed to be about, man.
We are the guys at the show
that gets forgotten.
That if Jesse's gonna give a heel shit, but if that heel throws beer in Jesse's face, Jesse's not gonna ask security to fucking.
Well, I'm not gonna try to jump the rail.
Nah, man.
Usually, what I'll do is I'll talk more shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But like,
beer doesn't stop you.
No, and it gets more heat.
Yeah.
Now he's talking more shit.
Yeah.
Like, it works. And then maybe after the show, hey man, sorry about that. I'm like, bro, did you see that reaction? You don't give a fuck. This washes out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I can shower. We're good.
You've also had much more beer thrown on you at a Jets game.
Oh, bro. And no Jet ever thanked me or apologized to me either. So, it's one of those things, man. The IWC, so people make the joke of touching grass. Actually try to go enjoy a fucking show.
Well, that's the thing.
And don't be a gatekeeper.
Well, that's the thing you talked earlier, Jesse, about the metal fans who turn their back. So what's going to happen when that band you turn your back to becomes the biggest fucking star in the world?
Right.
You going to pretend like you were there? I don't pretend like I'm an old school Sleep Token fan.
Right.
I got into them with the Summoning, not the first 2 records. Now, I love those first 2 records now that I'm into them.
Right.
But I don't pretend that somebody that I've met through their shows, through this, that person was there at This Place Will Become Your Tomb.
Right.
They were there for Sundowning.
Right.
They were there for the EPs.
Right.
You're bigger than me, and I can respect that. But that's also a very welcoming audience to their, like, well, thanks for finding them and becoming what you are. But, like, I can't stand the people who sit there and say to me, you know, why is this band here? And I'm like, bro, okay, I just went to I've told you the story. I went to Oceano's last tour in Minnesota. Dude, those boys in Backbiter, I bought them a tank of gas to get home because I looked at them and I said, look, man, I'm just gonna buy the CD because that's how I support you guys is the music. I'm not a big merch guy. I mean, it's fun, but like for me, the CD is how I support you. But I'm like, I can't imagine being that guy who's telling people to move and they just don't want to because it's like you're not Oceano.
Right.
You're not I Declare War.
Right.
I feel bad because we all know how big Oceano and I Declare War have earned to become. But like, I'm not gonna shit on you for that.
Right.
I'm gonna say thank you to that because who knows what Backbiter's gonna? Because Oceano's gone.
Right.
When this
Oceano's
tour's
gone
over,
now, yeah.
they're done. So like maybe Backbiter's the next. Like you can't look at a live crowd and say, well, you don't cheer that. Let them cheer, man.
Right.
Let them enjoy the fucking show.
Just because maybe you're not a fan of something that's going on doesn't mean that's why like when I criticize something and I call out the sickos, I'm calling out the sickos because there's fans of AEW that watch all wrestling who most of the time have the same criticism I have. They enjoy the show more, and guess what? I think that's fucking great.
I get so many comments, and people were like, "Well, you love Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana, but you hate on this because AEW is not doing it right. It's not benefiting the wrestler."
Well, it's the presentation. Who is it benefiting? Like, it's all these things that like for people who are kind of inside of the game, no. And then it starts to fuck with you as you're watching because you're like, this is not working for me. And so, yeah, as a fan, as it's not working for you, when you try to figure out why, guess what? You're going to kind of break it down a little bit. I'm sorry that hurts your feelings as a fan.
Mr. Iguana has not done anything yet in WWE that has needed to lead to anything other than the shit he was doing in that moment. That's literally been his shtick. Okay? Triple Mania was exactly what Triple Mania was supposed to be.
To be honest, it was a much better version of what Triple Mania had been.
Because it wasn't as chaotic? We were kind of able to understand it?
15 hours long.
All right, Leroy.
Was
Let's
awesome.
get to Heat Wave.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yes, it's going on right now, but we'll review it when we review it.
Yeah, we have a couple of matches already going on. All right, first up, it is triple threat to determine the number one contender for NXT Women's Champions. Lola Vice, Jada Parker, and Kalani Jordan.
So Kalani, in my opinion, is the sexy company pick because of the way they've pushed her. Jada is that pick where I think a lot of people are starting to wonder when are they going to actually do it.
She's been hovering for a while.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the winners at the next show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Lola is the answer of she's a popular one, but she's definitely the third wheel.
Right.
Not but I mean that's just facts.
But Jada's been hovering around this title for a while, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jada is becoming
all three are wonderful.
Jada's becoming Keith Lee in the sense of Jesse. Nothing against Miss Parker. She's done a great job. I want to compliment everything she's done. But she's kind of getting to that Keith Lee level of, are you going to go one match too far and deny the giant personality her belt?
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
There you go. Yep.
I think she's getting to that level where I think they're going to maybe wait one match too many.
Yeah, it's too much hovering. But next match.
Yeah.
Next match is the NXT Tag Team Champion, where the champs Hank and Tank take on Dark State. It says it's going to be Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin. Osiris Griffin. That's who's going to be wrestling tonight.
They had the hardest job in all of pro wrestling when it happened.
Oh, I was going to say not breaking at every little dirty little fucking joke that what's his face makes.
Later. No, they had the most difficult job in wrestling.
You don't want us behind you.
Because
bro.
because they had to take over for arguably the best tag team in the world at the time. But Hank and Tank, they've been fun.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. I do like Hank and Tank.
But again, they were never going to put on the classics that Fraxium did. But they, for what they are, have been a really fun, interesting, entertaining tag team in a title reign that was doomed from the start, because look at the title reign that they took the belts off of.
Well, yeah.
Like, holy shit.
They're a couple old school good old boys.
I also think this is the beginning of Trick Williams announcing that I'm the leader of Dark State. So
okay.
I think Dark State's going to start to ascend, because you always start to ascend the group with a tag team. I forget, did Randy win the Intercontinental title before Dave and Rick got the tag titles, or did Rick and Dave win the tag titles first?
Rick and Dave won the tag team titles first.
Right, okay, so yeah.
It was not far. Yeah, it was very close in time.
Technically,
Randy was already a multi-time Intercontinental champion.
Technically, Triple H was world heavyweight champion.
Well, yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, Trick's already the TNA heavyweight champion, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And the Easter egg of Dark State never showed up to TNA until Trick won the belt, it's right there.
I know! All of a sudden, the TNA owner is handing Trick the title. I'm like, okay, so he's clearly Dark State's leader, nigga. That's what's happening here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's not on this pay-per-view, so. All right, next up, we have the triple threat match for the TNA Knockouts Championship with JC Jane, the champ, against Masha Slamovich and Ash by Elegance.
This is the match that I will now stop the IWC and start to explain. Hey, guys! Leroy, would you do it for me from the Goonies?
Hey, you
guys!
Thank you, because I know you were great in the movie. Anyway, so,
wow.
Damn.
You set me up for it. You can't even blame yourself on that one.
Damn.
You've had better teeth work done since, but you know.
And my eyes
Hold
are
on,
normal.
really good. Damn.
There we go. All right.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Appreciate
but
that.
no, guys. Yes, WWE put all their talent in the belts of TNA to start. Now TNA has to work their way up and become the engine that could. Yes, JC Jane becoming champion after Trick is like WWE's just putting belts on other people. Yeah, so TNA can earn it back and actually benefit from this shit.
And they are benefiting.
That's my point. It's like, guys, yes, the evil entity that they're pretending to be right now has to be the evil. Jesse, if TNA
be
wanted,
happy as fans because they're basically quote unquote evading TNA as the evil entity.
well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Okay, no, hold on. This is the Kyle Fletcher syndrome. Would NXT be as big a threat to TNA right now if every single TNA title match that an NXT person got, they just lost?
No.
Yes. Yes, that's the point. So now that JC, being the bitch who holds the knockout title, so
Right.
when it goes back to Masha or back to Ash, or if she wins tonight, back to whoever they build in TNA, then that's more meaningful.
Right.
Welcome to how you build a story.
Also,
Do
go
you
ahead.
think there's going to be a title change tonight for that?
I think it's too early, and JC's doing great work.
Well, even if it's not tonight, even if it's not these two,
Yeah.
like you just said, you're building someone because, by the way, let us not forget that NXT clearly out of all the shows gets the best ratings.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm talking about between AEW's Dynamite and then, to be fair to TNA, they don't have their TV contract yet. They're going to get it back here, but
And they got a.
But so your
TNA
people are
is going to go head to head with Dynamite. Watch that become a really
that's about to
interesting.
happen. That's
Watch
about to
that
happen.
become an interesting
That's gonna be fun.
situation.
But
I love that.
they're getting big exposure. By the way, Minnesota girl Maggie Lee was just on NXT. Like, you're getting exposure. This is awesome stuff.
And oddly enough, the company that she worked for at one point, MAW, was happy to promote her NXT match.
And they did, yes.
Funny how that works.
I have a feeling. She's going to be stuck in Florida for a while. I heard it went really well. I've been meaning to go back and watch the replay, but I heard Maggie did incredible, but I'm not shocked.
Next match, Leroy.
Yeah. Next match, well, I have my favorite on this one. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe.
Is it Jesse? I think it's. I forget. Have they had a match yet?
No.
This is their first
This is their first one.
Well,
there was an injury kind of angle.
One
for
of two
Jordan Grace
things.
for a little
One,
while.
either Blake's gonna win and then Jordan's going to have a big climb to a bigger show, or they've done such a good job without wrestling that this is just kind of Jordan moving on from Blake.
Blake has kind of been doing the running away,
Right.
afraid of Jordan Grace because Jordan Grace is going to kill.
She's been Mariah May.
Well, I was literally about to just say, hey guys, just so you know, I've been saying Mariah May this whole time because it's the same fucking character.
It's just she's not using the name, but it's
There we
been
go.
Mariah May this whole time.
This is who Mariah May
There's
was.
just no Tony Storm attached to her now, but this is
Mariah May
This is Mariah
couldn't
May.
be this full-on version with Tony Storm because Tony Storm was not a fat-shaming gimmick.
right.
And again, as Jesse pointed out last week, and I know somebody hit me up and said Jesse was wrong, and I'm like, whatever. Jesse, Jordan Grace knows what she used to look like.
Yeah.
We're just pulling the curtain back for 2 seconds. She knows what she knows her past. Is
She's
basically
kind of
it.
always been muscle mommy though.
Right, yeah. But what I'm saying is
Yeah,
that
she
Jesse, WWE, with all the corporate sponsorships they are attached to, are not going to do a fat shaming gimmick in 2025 if Jordan Grace hasn't assured everyone, I'm okay with this.
And that, by the way, she's not gonna probably whoop her ass. So like,
Well, that's the other thing. Jordan Grace is going to whip Blake Monroe's ass at some point.
so like, I'm a progressive. I don't know how many times I have to say this.
Yeah.
I've been to women's rallies here in Duluth,
Yep.
down in the cities.
Mhm.
I've been to the gay pride rallies. I'm a supporter, man. I'm an ally. But some of this kind of shit is irritating because it's just a step too far. I'm guessing what you heard was, well, it's still fat shaming. WWE shouldn't have done it, and Jesse's wrong. Well, okay. What other story are they going to tell with Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace who can bend her like a fucking pretzel?
Got to do something.
Tell me.
Dude,
But
every single movie/TV show about high school girl drama, 9 times out of 10, the mean girl can be bent like a pretzel by the girl she's making fun of.
Or like they do a nerd mean girl thing.
Right, yeah.
But I'm sorry. I've been watching Jordan Grace for over 10 years. Never been a nerd, as far as in the wrestling ring. So I don't know, but I'm excited to see how this goes.
Jordan
down the road.
Grace is going to be the girl that every little girl who was maybe a little bit bigger in middle school or high school, that they're gonna Jesse.
That was the whole fucking point.
Stone Cold was literally, we lived vicariously through wanting to beat the shit out of our boss.
Right.
That's what this is on a high school
yeah.
level.
well, she like any wrestler, you evolve and you change over the year. That's what she has done.
But it's not even about that. In a vacuum,
Oh, yeah.
a little girl has watched TV with her dad somewhere in America, and that dad has been able to say, I know you can't get back at them like this, but watch this and live through that.
There we go. Yes. I'm
Once
pulling
again-
for winning.
Once
for
again,
Jordan
not
Grace
even
winning.
the IWC who hate on each other. To the outside world, wrestling does matter.
Yes, and I would love for my girl Jordan Grace to win. I'm happy. I hope so.
Next match.
Next match. Well, we have
Someday you will get out of a segment with Jordan Grace and not be creepy about it.
I don't think
It's
that was
just to
creepy.
stir you up. Next
I'm
match.
Next
Hoping
match.
she wins.
Next
Love
match.
you, but next match.
All right, this mixed tag match with the self-proclaimed greatest Canadian champions ever, wrestlers ever, Chelsea Green and Ethan Page
I
against
think this has been the
Tyler
greatest.
Steele and Tavion Heights.
That video of fucking Chelsea with the wind machine and Ethan's just standing there
Fucking hilarious.
was the greatest fucking moment I have ever seen on NXT television, bar none.
You know what I really got from Unreal? Is that Triple H is going to reward her as women's champion one day.
I
Because
think
she's
so.
so selfless.
He's gonna force her into it.
Yep. He's going to.
Yeah, I don't think she really wants it.
Yeah.
He's
either.
gonna make her do it.
He's going to be like, oh, you didn't think this wasn't going to happen, right? Yeah, you're going to be women's champion. Fuck this.
And the funny part about it is,
And the women's locker room will be behind it.
not only that, but do you want to know the best part? When it finally comes time to drop it, she is going to make Triple H make her lose in the most fucking Chelsea Green way possible.
The most epic way possible.
It is going to be a goddamn cinematic masterpiece. And I'm telling you right now, Triple H, listen to this woman and you will make more money than you ever thought possible.
Oh, yes.
Give her money in the bank so she can fail on a Jesse, I promise you, she is gonna have Raquel and Naya fucking beat the shit out of somebody for like 10 minutes and then still fail. I guarantee you, she's gonna have the biggest, baddest bitch in the world beat up the champion and still find a way to fuck herself out of it.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
It's going to be cinema.
It's going to be good.
It is.
But yes, no, Triple H will reward her, and he'll be like, "Oh no, you're taking this."
Now I will say this, regardless of her ties to MAGA, I wasn't sure she was still signing Tyra, because of course we just heard Gabe Stevenson is going to do his first mixed martial arts fight here in Minnesota.
Yeah,
but like, I didn't know Tyra was still signed because it had been 2 years since we had heard from her. So seriously, so when she showed up last week, I was like, "Oh fuck, she's still signed here."
Yeah.
Not that I was mad about it.
No, yeah.
I was just like, "Oh, I thought they cut her the moment they cut Gable Stevenson, and we're like, okay, the Olympians are not going to work out this time." That's what I thought happened.
Yeah.
So, but hey, good for her. She's getting a spot here.
The Canadians will lose, but it will be in the most epic fashion possible.
Like I said, Chelsea
Nothing
are
against
real
them, but
talking about, listen,
I
if I
agree.
got to be the person that loses, takes the embarrassing thing each week, and I get on TV and I get to let the crowd have fun with it. And I went, that's the kind of attitude that makes you women's champion. In
Chelsea
the future.
Green is literally fucking from Toy Story. I'm falling with style. Chelsea Green is.
And by the way, watching Unreal, it makes you a bigger fan of her. Just of her. You're just like, I hope for her to succeed more because she's great.
I have totally loved her whole run back. With
And
she's great.
and once again, because Jessie doesn't get quoted enough where people remember, as talented as anyone in that locker room.
Oh, yes.
She's got her wrestling abilities are on the same as Charlotte Flair's. That's what makes the comedy character so much better.
Yeah.
Because she can wrestle with a Charlotte Flair.
The greatest thing I would ever want, because when Forbidden Door is over and New Japan realizes how shit it was, Chelsea Green and Yano need to somehow make a DVD sale.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yano, this DVD doesn't have enough diamonds on. Diamonds?
He'll make it happen.
Diamonds.
If Yano, dude, that's how Yano's career will end. He will finally sell the DVD to a top baby.
He'll sell it. He'll sell it to
It'll have
Chelsea,
diamonds.
who will then carry on the legacy.
Ah, yes.
Last match of the night, probably most likely the headliner, the main event, is Obafemi defending against Javon Evans.
What's left of Javon Evans?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Well, let's see what happens, how much is left of him after this match.
I think Trick did most of the fucking damage on Tuesday. My
Yeesh.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it should be a good match. I think so.
God. I thought he died. Well, he pushed him. He looked like fucking Scar pushing Mufasa. I killed this little nigga. even Oba was like, bro, what did you do?
Oh, my God.
I got to fight the kid if he wins. What did you do?
In all fairness, I was worried because I was like, pushed him a little too far.
I mean, he pushed him real far. I'm like, yeah, that boy definitely bouncy. He bounced all the way to a different continent.
Yeah.
Man.
Sometimes it hurts less to hit the table.
I think Booker was between concern and laughing because he saw Oba's face.
Yep.
And I almost broke.
Yep.
Even Oba was like, bro, did you just kill that dude? Did you just kill that kid? Even Trick was like, oh, shit, I think I killed him.
All I need now is the is the thing from the Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. It's like, I think he fucking killed him. have it be Oba, and then have it go to Booker and Vic. Be like, I think he fucking killed him.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, just have Trick be like, I think I fucking killed him.
I think I fucking killed him.
I'm like, bro, Javon, you're not in AEW. You don't have to take those bumps every week.
I'm like, yeah, no, I've seen that boy live. That boy bouncy. That boy bounced to a different state.
Definitely.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think Javon's hit that Jada Parker level yet. I think Javon's got a few more L's in him.
I gotta be honest, man.
But I mean, what's left to do with Oba? He can eat half the roster.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Yes, he can.
So at least if Javon won, you can finally just move Oba up. Though now you got a big problem. Because if you move Oba up, he probably has to go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because you can't have him and Braun Breaker on Raw at the same time.
Because the temptation to do that match.
The crowd will not allow you to not do that match for too long.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
And as we move on, before we get to our ending here, where Jesse and I will say our famous goodbyes. Jesse, I would like to throw a surprise thing at you, and I'm going to give you the floor for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Jesse. This is going to be a somewhat ongoing mini-series, but we're going to start with episode 1 for you. Why does Bruce Pritchard still have a job?
Fuck if I know, man. Like, why do squirrels climb trees? Why does the sky blue? Why does it snow for 7 months out of the year in the upper Midwest? Why is Canada still not put out forest fires? Fuck if I know, bro.
In all fairness to Canada, though, those forest fires have only really hurt bears and caribou.
Why have the Pollocks not sold the fucking Twins yet? Why do the Jets feel cursed? Why are all beards not the greatest? Why is mine only a neck beard right now? Fuck if I know, bro. Why do I sound like fucking Vince Russo? Fuck if I know, dude. I don't know.
Unreal has made him unlikable even more.
And then he was just out at dinner with Vince, and I'm like, oh god, now I gotta hear about Bruce about going to dinner with Vince, and oh my god, they're gonna take over the company again. And I'm just like, somebody. I wish the kid would have knocked me the fuck out, not the wrestler. Like, I wish he would have came to my house as I'm reading all this shit and knocked me the fuck out and put me in a coma. That would have done me a world of good last night. Because I'm just like, why? I don't know why Triple H keeps him around. Maybe he's funny. Maybe he's like a fat parakeet, and Triple H just likes the fat parakeet. Always, well, you know, and he just likes his stupid-ass voice. And he doesn't really listen to him. He just likes to laugh at him.
I think he's still puckering up
So
his lips.
So you're telling me that Vince needed Vince Russo for that, and Triple H needs fucking Bruce Pritchard?
Triple H is so stressed. He needs the fat fucking doughboy around. Probably talk to
I think he's still kissing ass.
Unreal has made him unlikable.
He was always unlikable.
No. But I mean, like, even
more unlikable.
Even to some people who were like, yeah, but he was always involved with Taker. Clearly not as much as we fucking thought, because holy shit.
I told everyone. Once again, why do I got to be so dumb? I told everyone this is one of the most useless motherfuckers in pro wrestling outside of Vince
But he's
Russo.
really good at kissing ass.
And that's
Because, folks, let me tell you something
keeping
about
him
Bruce
going.
Pritchard. You want to know the legacy of Bruce Pritchard? It's not Undertaker. It's not the years under Vince. It's not his WWE highlights. TNA hired Jim Cornette, brought him to a taping, and paid this motherfucking Southern boy money to fire a motherfucker.
Yep.
And
Jim Cornette did nothing else with that run in TNA. It wasn't even a run. They paid his ass one night to fire a fat motherfucker.
And
You know,
he has a life supply of chapstick.
Sometimes somebody
for ass
will,
kissing.
somebody tries to troll me with a clip of Bruce Pritchard's podcast, and I go watch that TNA clip because through Jim Cornette, I lived through. I wish I could fire him myself, like, and I would have told them like I'm gonna swear at him, like I'm gonna degrade him because he deserves it, like because like. Why is he here? Like,
And not even for bad ideas, just for being useless.
just for being Bruce Pritchard. And I would feel so like there's like I said, there's always bad times to be an asshole. That's a great time to be one. It just feels good to the soul. You know, just because he's a waste of time.
So, folks, we do not know if there will be a show next week. I will probably be out of town, and I think Jesse's busy anyway. So, just so people know, whenever we do come back, though, we are going to, and I'm telling the boys live on camera so that they have to get to it. We're gonna start our reviews of WWE Unreal. we're all going to start going on there. I don't know if we're going to.
I've watched it.
I don't know if we're going to do episode by episode or if we're just going to do one big thing.
We could probably do the whole series.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So
I've watched it all.
Okay, so yeah, we haven't done this a lot except for like maybe with Dynamite. So
Right.
I think what we'll do is we'll do an episode by episode breakdown. So next week we're gonna start with episode 1. And also for those of you who are gonna start messaging me and asking why you waiting so long, I like to let things marinate for a little bit. I like to let the initial responses come out, and so we're not just hanging on. Everyone's gonna say the same shit. So so starting next week or next show, I should say, we are going to go over episode 1, and then we'll just go down the series each week. Thank you guys all very much, and don't forget
join me
Yep.
on Monday.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna go live at 2:00.
I was going to set you up, but you know what? I guess you don't want me to set you up anymore.
Well, okay. I don't know.
Well, we're late. So go ahead.
You had a chance to glaze up Kathy, and you dropped the ball.
What?
we'll post a photo of Kathy, and you can all glaze her.
Wow. I don't think so.
She'll
sir.
actually find that funny.
She'll
probably
probably
find
find
that
that
She'll
great.
find that hilarious.
But yes, he will be doing Raw tomorrow, 2 p.m. specific.
Eastern.
Holy shit! I need to go to bed.
2 p.m.
Eastern
Central Standard.
Central Standard Time,
Time.
U.S. So
And then
on
the
East Coast,
regular
it's about
time,
3.
regular time the next Monday, because I think they're going to be in regular
It'll be
time.
back in the U.S.
Yeah,
So
I think it's back in U.S.
I'll be
next week
joining him
after.
for that one. I might not join him for this one because I still have my regular job.
Hey,
Yeah.
if there's somebody out there wants to join me, I'll have a link up
That's
to let me
right.
know, and you come join me.
Thank you all so very much, and we'll see you guys all next time.
Bye bye.